Alright, boss. We found those traitorous little twerps. This time, let's make sure we shut them up for good.
I'm not sure what you mean, Kaz.
If you have to, exterminate them. We can't afford to have more information about Mother Base make it out to the public.
But they're only children.
Sometimes Daddy has to use the belt, boss. Do what must be done.
Okay, Kaz. Where are they being held?
They've been found at Camp Omega, preparatory school.
You want me to infiltrate a grade school?
It's a front for XOF.
Copy that. What do I do if they're mixed in with the rest of the children and wearing uniforms?
You put them all down.
Excuse me?
You heard me.
I can't kill a group of school.
You can and you will.
Kaz, do you even hear yourself right now?
Excuse me, do you have a hall pass?
Get the fuck away from me, you little monster. Jesus.
What was that, boss?
God damn it. I just murdered a child. In for a penny, in for a pound. Ah!
I'm already a demon.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Metal Gear Mondays, the most thorough Metal Gear Solid podcast on the internet. I'm your host, Sam Wright. That's weird. We're trying something new. And why the fuck not? I'm joined this week by Alessio Summerfield.
Hey guys, what's up? That's weird. I'm on the other side of the chair now. What's even weirder is that Sam is in St. Louis and I'm in Seattle.
Yeah, that's the weirdest part about it. But still where he always is. Maybe. Who knows? He's an international man of mystery. It's Isaac Lim.
Hey, it's your host, Isaac Lim. Are we doing this? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay.
We're here. We
Squidward.
fucking made it after 3 goddamn long-ass years. We made it. We're covering Ground Zeroes and Metal Gear Solid 5 for you fucking monsters. So
You just sounded like one of the people from those GameStop store TV shows. They're like, we're talking Metal Gear 5.
Get out of here.
So I feel like, so I haven't ever worked at GameStop before, but I feel like I have in spirit because most of my friends back in Ohio for a certain period of time all worked at GameStop, so I spent a lot of time there. And I feel like intimately connected with those videos. Not nearly as much as they probably did, but very much so.
What have you guys been doing all this time that we've not been playing 5?
I am now the hopscotch champion of the world.
Nice.
So
I played
that's
like
something.
half my backlog on Steam. I almost said black log. That's a different log.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Did
you're
you
doing a serious answer. Oh,
Maybe not.
Oh,
The world will never know. Isaac, what have you been doing?
I've been traveling the world.
Why did it age your voice so much?
That's
old
my
man Isaac.
that's my intrigue voice. That's my
Your
my,
intrigue voice.
That's your get over here, Tatiana voice.
Come sit on my lap.
Isaac Claude's over here. But yeah, we're finally doing it, and we've got one more detour before we get into our coverage, which is we're going to talk about the news. Play the jingle of me.
Wow.
It should be, we should have Alessio do the jingle.
Yeah, we need to redo it now.
Yeah, should I do it real
We
quick?
need to have two. We need to have two, and then we flip it whenever one of us is hosting.
Yeah,
so
no,
when I'm
Great.
hosting,
So technically,
it's you,
we already
and when you're
me
hosting,
and
it's
Isaac
me.
recorded one.
Oh
Back
yeah,
in-
you're right.
back in the day. But
yeah,
I
we
don't.
can just use Isaac's.
No,
Let's
we'll
do
use
that.
mine. Here we go.
Yeah, let's do it right now.
It's time for new Metal Gear News.
Yeah.
What's up?
Pretty good.
This is the news for Thursday, March 28th, 2019. It's been a while since we've done one of these, so forgive us if we've talked about this before or if this is out-of-date news, but whatever. You know, we're doing our thing. First things first is that Metal Gear Solid 4 is now on PlayStation Now. So if you, thank you for highlighting my mistake. Oh, see, I appreciate that. MSG4. MSG, very good. Tastes great. They didn't need to know about that, but I was called out without being called out audibly. So in case you, Metal Gear Solid 4 was one of the last PlayStation 3 games offered on PlayStation Plus. They are now done doing Vita and PS3 games for Plus as free games. So if you did not get a chance to grab Metal Gear Solid 4 on PlayStation Plus, it is now a PlayStation Now title. So check that out if you haven't already and you really, really want to play Metal Gear Solid 4. What I really want to talk about is Oscar Isaac.
So I just want to go ahead.
Tell me why I want to talk about Oscar Isaac.
So Oscar rumored.
Isaac.
Yeah, Oxar Isaac rumored. It's actually, that's not his full name. It's like Oscar Isaac. If you look really carefully, he's actually two guys. It's one guy named Oscar and one guy named Isaac, and they're standing really close together.
So they look like one person.
Yeah.
I love it.
But Oscar Isaac, rumored to have said that he'd be interested in playing Snake in a Metal Gear movie. And Jordan Vogt Roberts said that he might be interested in Oscar playing Snake in a Metal Gear movie. Kristen's response was, "Ooh, you mean I get to see Oscar with that snake booty? Yes, please."
I'm with her.
Yeah, hashtag me too. Am I doing it right?
No.
I'm with her. My vote goes to Hillary as well. Isaac, what about you?
Oh, God.
Amen.
More like
I don't know.
more like man.
Man. Kind of like that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
There are some dissenting voices in the crowd, though. We have heard some people say that they don't think it would be a good fit because of the voice.
Yeah. But I think that's easy to flip past. I think if it's Oscar Isaac's a very good actor. Actually, we had a conversation with our good friend of the show, Zach James, about it, who was not for it, and then he saw the concept art, and then he was just like, okay. So if you are not for it and you haven't seen the concept art, look at the concept art. It's very good. And if you're not for it and you have seen the concept art, what the fuck's wrong with you?
Well, the concept art is from that MGS 30 run of
30,
art.
30 for 30, ESPN 30 for 30, Metal Gear Solid.
Right. MGS PN.
Yeah. As a person who actually did buy the Silent Hill 2 version of this, since he's a real fan, Isaac, do you want to talk about this next piece of news?
Yeah, Isaac, you had the piece of paper
Sure.
that proclaimed this information in your order. So tell us what that was like.
Yeah. So several weeks ago, about a month ago, I bought. There's a record label called Mondo Tees, and love them boys.
It's a record label called Mondo. We sell kitchen equipment. Like I don't like what? Why are they called Mondo Tees?
Well, back in the day, they used to just do posters. Who knows?
I always thought it was just
or
Mondo, but their website is Mondo Tees. So
Yeah.
it's confusing.
They originally started doing like posters of like cultural pop culture type things years ago, and then started getting into records, mainly soundtracks to like movies, a lot of more horror films, and video games as of late. And so a couple, like last month, I ordered the Silent Hill 2 soundtrack, and it came in sometime this week, Tuesday. And in the record, it also lists upcoming releases. And what do you know? What was on that upcoming release? Metal Gear Solid. Coming 2019.
I thought it was gonna be Halo. I'm sorry, I guessed wrong.
Too bad. I already have that too.
Yeah,
Anyway,
that's weird.
So sometime this year, I don't know if they set out a date, but the Metal Gear Solid the original Metal Gear Solid soundtrack is coming to vinyl officially
Yes.
for the first time.
Dope.
So be on the lookout for that.
I love it.
If you like that sort of thing.
I'm excited. Yeah, I want to check it out. The Silent Hill 2 soundtrack itself looks fucking sick, by the way.
Yeah. It's creepy on the back. It's got like the nurse or whatever, one of the nurses. And
Dude, that gets me
Oh,
rock
God.
hard.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
just a little bit.
Isaac took
Just
it
a
to a
little
very
bit.
serious place.
I really enjoy those nurses sexually.
Yeah. I thought we all did. I know.
Oh, weird. Apparently there's a Silent Hill 3 vinyl record that has, what is her name? Heather? No, it's not Heather. Yeah, it is Heather.
Yeah.
Heather's on the front wearing her outfit from the game with very clearly no bra underneath. Speaking of
what?
getting turned on and spooked at the same time, my God.
You know, I really enjoy that Heather sexually.
Jesus.
And one more little piece of news. Hideo Kojima and Norman Reedus are going to be at the Tribeca Film Festival this year talking about Death Stranding.
Good old Rorman Needus.
Norman Reedus and his digitally perfect penis.
Right, I forgot about that.
Lovingly rendered.
Forgot that I said that to Jeremy Blaustein. That was a weird word that came out of my mouth. I didn't expect to
That
say
was a
penis to Jeremy Blaustein.
Yeah, that was a very. It was. I had to pause the podcast for a second. It was just like I'm gonna let him. I'm not. It's not live anymore, but I'm gonna let him work that embarrassment off in the past.
Oh no, Isaac, real quick, are the vinyl records like clear with like a beautiful like blooming pattern across them?
I actually haven't.
You should
had
take a
chance
look
to open
because I
them.
just saw a picture of what I think you own and it looks real good.
So yeah, it's they have a black version and then a more limited version. I can't remember what it was though. What does it look like? It's clear with.
It's clear with like a starburst kind of like pretty like pattern that's kind of going out across. I guess they did the original Silent Hill.
What flavor
as
of
well.
Starburst though?
Yeah, they did an original Silent Hill Mondo release
Yeah.
as well a while back. It looks beautiful. God, I wish they would reprint these things.
They do occasionally, but it's like you got to be on it like that, you know. It's,
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, cool.
Well, that was the news.
Anyway.
And I guess we're gonna jump right into it. Let's go. Let's talk about Metal Gear.
Wee.
The original.
Yep. So Metal Gear was released in 1987. No,
We
so
are
what we're gonna
never
do
talking
with
about this
episode-
game.
Yeah. So what we're going to do with this episode is we're going to talk about the generalities for Ground Zeroes and 5. They are technically like one package, so we're going to talk about that. And then we're going to talk about Ground Zeroes, our experience with Ground Zeroes and what have you. And then next week we're going to get right into 5 with no further ado after that. So I will go ahead and get into it, talking about Ground Zeroes first. Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes was developed by Kojima Productions and published by Konami as a prequel to The Phantom Pain. It was directed by Hideo Kojima and produced by Kojima, Kenichiro Imazumi, and Kazuki Muraoka, and was written by Kojima, Shuyo Murata, Hidenari Inamura, with art by Yoji Shinkawa and Ikuya Nakamura, and music by Akihiro Honda, Ludwig Forsell, and Harry Gregson Williams, and of course programmed by Junji Tago. It was released on PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, Xbox 360, and Xbox One on March 18th, 2014 in North America, March 20th, 2014 in Europe and Japan, and March 27th, 2014 in Australia, with a worldwide PC release on December 18th, 2014. And then it was re-released as part of Metal Gear Solid 5 The Definitive Experience in October of 2016, and featured all of the originally console-exclusive missions, as well as the ability to jump into Phantom Pain as soon as you completed the main mission.
I think they patched the console exclusives to everybody now as well, because I had both of them
Yeah,
on my
so
list.
because Deja Vu was PS4 exclusive or PlayStation exclusive, and Jamais Vu was Xbox exclusive. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And now, and you can play both. You can play both of them in definitive experience now.
Can I just put this out there
pretty
too?
cool.
Like, I don't want to shit on people who don't have a PS4 or an Xbox One, but like, real talk, I played Ground Zeroes on the PS3 first, and then bought it again when I bought a PS4. You gotta play these games on PS4. Like, it just looks
Well,
so
to
good.
the point where I was reading about like how the game was received critically, and the PlayStation 3 has like the lowest reviews. The PlayStation 3 version and the Xbox 360 version have the lowest reviews.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, with the PlayStation 3s having the lowest of all of the versions.
Wow.
So there is definitely critical evidence to support that. Yeah, these games were meant for like the current generation of consoles
Yeah.
as they stand now. At the time, I guess it was next generation, but now it's current.
And again, I'm not trying to demonize anybody. I know we have some listeners who are playing it on the PS3, so no hard feelings. Just know that I think the jump is worth it.
For sure. And then the Phantom Pain shares much of the same development team as Ground Zeroes, with the addition of Etsu Tamari as a writer. The programmers would be Daizaburo Nakamura, Makoto Sonoyama, Shutaro Ida, and Takahiro Nomura. Harry Gregson Williams would return to produce the music, and Ludwig Forsell would remain as a composer and would be joined by Justin Burnett and Daniel James, with no relation to friend of the show Zach James, as far as we're aware. It was released worldwide on September 1st, 2015, except for Japan, where it was released on September 2nd for the PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, 360, Xbox One, and the PC. So yeah.
Dope.
On
Popa dope.
February 2012, a site called Development Without Borders, owned by Konami, was uploaded promoting the development of a new Metal Gear title called The Next MGS.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's pretty hardcore. And the site was recruiting staff for the 2012 GDC Pavilion in March and requested applications for several positions for the latest Metal Gear Solid, targeted for, quote, high-end consoles and PC and, quote, next-gen Fox engine, which I don't think we really knew what that was at the time.
Yeah, was that back when it was called like Project Ogre?
Yeah, I believe so.
Oh, okay, cool. Because
Yeah.
I remember they were showing, I think they just had two pictures. One was like of the African children and like a tank. And then another picture was like in a desert, and everybody was like, I don't even think they said what it was yet. They didn't say like the next MGS. I think they just called it Project Ogre.
So like you mentioned, as the year continued, screenshots and videos of this engine were unveiled by the team, and demonstrated a bunch of settings and characters that weren't necessarily related to Metal Gear at the time. But there were certain screenshots that were featuring Big Boss, or a character who resembled Big Boss, walking up to a striker vehicle that were in Metal Gear Solid 4, which is one of the PMCs. On August 30th, 2012, the game was announced under the name Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes and revealed at a private function celebrating the 25th anniversary of the Metal Gear series, and it made its public debut 2 days later at PAX 2012. Hideo Kojima confirmed that Big Boss would return as the game's protagonist and that the story would serve as a prologue to another game in the series, and was... I didn't know about this. I thought this was fucking hilarious. It was the second game to utilize the Fox engine after Pro Evolution Soccer 2014 the year before.
Oh, wow. I had no idea.
So Metal Gear wasn't even the first game to use Fox engine. It was a fucking soccer game.
That's
which I think is
crazy.
hilarious.
God. I don't know why that's irritating me so much, but that's really bumming me out.
PES 2014, bro. Let's do it. Let's kick some soccer balls around, baby.
I'm a
Football!
pass dispenser.
Pass dispenser. The Japanese version of the game features an English text option, which makes the menus and subtitles in English fully, and makes it possible to play the game with the Japanese voice cache accompanied by English text, which I did not know about. It was also the first title in the series subtitled in Arabic, a feature the team had planned for previous games originally, and in addition, Kojima confirmed that the length of the cutscenes would be reduced as he believed that long cutscenes had become outdated. Wow, what a fucking turnabout. According to Famitsu, real dogs were used for motion capture during the development of the game's opening scenes.
I saw pictures of that, actually. I did like a Google image search recently, and I definitely saw pictures of that, and I was like, what the fuck?
Nothing makes me giddier than seeing dogs in motion capture suits.
Right.
It's my favorite thing because, like, obviously it's like a tight-fitting suit, so it, like, all of their fur is compacted, and then, like, from their neck up, it's just poof. And it's just a really funny thing to look at.
Mm-hmm.
Konami also confirmed that part of Kojima's direction was influenced by the Japanese pop idol group AKB48's music videos.
Really?
Yeah, with
hilarious.
the sideways lens flare that we see so much in this and in 5 were influenced by AKB48's videos. The sideways lens flare,
Jesus.
because he really liked that,
gosh.
apparently. Ground Zeroes was originally supposed to be released with the Phantom Pain, but the long development time of the Phantom Pain resulted in Kojima splitting the project into 2 parts to allow players to experience the gameplay of Metal Gear Solid 5 prior to the full game's release. And he compared Ground Zeroes with the pre-title sequence of a Hollywood movie to how it would build up to the plot from Phantom Pain, because of course he compared it to a Hollywood movie. It's Kojima.
What do you mean?
He also claimed that his aim was to target the taboos and mature themes that he considered to be quite risky, adding that his roles as a creator and producer were in conflict with one another. As a creator, Kojima wanted to take the risk of exploring themes that might alienate audiences, but as a producer, he had to be able to tone it down and sell as many copies of the game as possible, but ultimately the role of creator won out, and Kojima described his approach as prioritizing creativity over sales. He has explained the differences between Ground Zeroes and the Phantom Pain, stating that the advanced capabilities of the Fox engine have allowed me to tell a new story in a new way, and that there will be significant difference in what Phantom Pain brings to the series. So we want to ease players into the new open world environments and its potential, hoping to achieve that with Ground Zeroes.
By new story, he means hardly one.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry. I promise I'll quit taking shots.
Yeah. You know, we listen. I'm about to talk about guns, so we can take as much shots as we want. You know,
That's true.
Welcome.
I appreciate it.
And by saying that, I mean the game breaks away from the tradition of the franchise using licensed firearms and military technology, instead using fictional weapons that bear little resemblance to real-life counterparts, such as the Marines Type 69 rifle being being reminiscent of the M16.
That was so fast,
and also,
Sam. My God. You had that nice, like, imbued in your spirit.
Yeah, it shook its way out of it. And also they have Fulton devices that use wormholes as a function in 5. So yeah, the kind of breaking away from tradition there a little bit.
I don't know what you mean.
I don't know what you
kidding,
mean. Meanwhile, at the Spike Video Game Awards in December 2012, a teaser trailer for a video game known as The Phantom Pain, so this is all before we knew what the fuck was going on. Mm-hmm. The game was just known as The Phantom Pain, credited to a Swedish developer known as Moby Dick Studio that nobody fucking knew about at all, and was described as being 100% gameplay, which is also a lie.
Wow.
I'm just being honest.
What aren't they lying about?
Oh my God. Moby Dick Studio was a studio allegedly led by somebody named Joachim Mogren, which Joachim is an anagram of Kojima, and Mogren contains the word ogre for Project Ogre. What?
Whoa, dude.
The studio's mission statement read that it aimed to, quote, deliver an uncompromising, exciting, and touching game experience to people all around the globe. And after the presentation, commentators speculated that the Phantom Pain was actually a Metal Gear game, noting the protagonist's resemblance to Big Boss. Graphics similar to those produced by the Fox engine, and the, quote, V has come to at the end of the trailer. And that the title Metal Gear Solid 5 fits in the negative space and indentations of the game's logo when using the same font. And then, like I said, the name Joachim was an anagram of Kojima, and the domain name for the studio's website had only been registered about 2 weeks prior to the announcement, and that several people wearing Moby Dick Studio shirts were sitting in a VIP area intended for Konami staff. Hideo Kojima stated that he was impressed by the trailer and how Mogren was inspired by Metal Gear. And, like, that shit popped off immediately. Like, there wasn't, like, a delay, like, after the trailer appeared, they were like, that looks like Metal Gear.
Right. Well, so I will say, I do want to put this out there because I I was actually like live in the NeoGAF thread from the moment that got announced until the discovery happened. This was like what reignited, and this was before we even started this podcast, because I think 5 came out a year before the podcast started.
I think so. Is that right?
Yeah, 5 came out in 2014. Podcast started in 2015.
No, 5 podcast started in
September.
2016, but it came out in 2015.
That's what I meant. Sorry. Yeah, Ground Zeroes came out in 2014. My bad.
Yeah.
But no, so this is like the trailer that would eventually come out for Ground Zeroes, and the build up on this NeoGAF forum are what kind of put me in peak Metal Gear hype after like a long time of just kind of hibernation, I guess. Mm-hmm. And so yeah, it was super crazy, man. Like I was on that thread as people were like, "Hey, wait a minute. I increased the contrast on the image that says Phantom Pain, and you can clearly see these indentations." And so I went ahead and stuck in the same font the words Metal Gear Solid, and look at how perfect it is. Like I literally was seeing people putting it together like as it was happening, which was nuts. But dude, there were a couple people that right off the bat, they were like, "It's no way it's a fucking Metal Gear game. Like that series ended. Like why does anybody care?" It was wild, man. But there were so many people that were just like, "Let's do some research. Like what fucking indie studio is this? Like what is this game?" It was so weird.
And what was it with the name? Like why Moby Dick? I'm trying to remember if there was.
I'm not sure what Kojima's obsession is with Moby Dick, because like there's a whale in the trailer.
Yeah.
The Ishmael and Pequod and Ahab names are all Moby Dick names. There's a lot of Moby Dick shit in 5, but it's just weird where the obsession came from.
Yeah. Okay.
Should we read Moby Dick for the show?
Maybe at some point, because straight up the main character does lose a hand, and the main character is missing an eye.
I want to make it clear. I said that as a serious suggestion. I wasn't a joke.
No, I know. Yeah, I mean, it might be worth it. It might be worth it. Yeah. For the record, I have never read Moby Dick all the way through.
Same.
Yeah, me neither. It's a lengthy book.
It is a lengthy book. It's a girthy book.
Girth.
Nice.
Just like Moby Dick.
Gosh. Love me some of that Moby Dick. Anyway, an actor on March 14th, 2013 episode of Game Trailers TV, an actor playing a heavily bandaged Joaquin Mogren appeared in an interview with Jeff Keighley, stating that he could not reveal many details, but that more details would be revealed at GDC later that month, and said just for Jeff, he would show some screenshots and concept art for the Phantom Pain. And as they were scrolling through the pictures, a couple of the pictures had the Fox Engine logo in the corner. And when Jeff pointed this out, Mogren's face went, "What?" And then the interview ended very abruptly. Very weird.
Somebody posted a meme that fucking killed me. It was like a 3-panel meme. The first one was Jeff Keighley on stage at the not Game Awards, but at some award show. The second picture was a picture of Kojima looking at him from the audience. And then the third picture was Jeff Keighley with Kojima's face. And it fucking killed me. It was like the I'm in your face meme.
We make jokes about it, but is this where like the big like Jeff Keighley is Kojima's like human puppet?
Kind of. I mean, so Jeff has interviewed Kojima a bunch before this, but this was like the big like, "Hey Jeff, come help me sell this gag." Ha ha ha.
Yeah.
Came from.
Like this is like I fully believe that Jeff knew about everything going into all of this.
Right.
Obviously.
Right. Yeah, Jeff does some interviews after 5 and the whole Konami breakup and stuff happened. Jeff did a bunch of interviews like kind of talking about his thoughts on it. So I do think Jeff is pretty close to it.
Yeah, I would think so. So anyway, that year, that GDC happened on March 27th. Kojima officially confirmed that his studio was behind the trailer and announced that Metal Gear Solid 5 would be 2 separate games. This is where Ground Zeroes comes in. And presented a trailer for the game and showcased the Fox Engine, featuring Not Your Kind of People from Garbage's 2012 album of the same name.
I feel like the Ground Zeroes trailer came out before the MGS5 trailer, though.
Did it?
I feel like it did because I remember watching that way before confirmation of 5 had totally come out. I think I can do some research on it super quickly, but like I just remember getting like goosebumps watching the "Here's to You" section, like at Kristen's parents' house in a closet by myself because I was like, nobody's gonna know what the fuck I'm watching.
They because they didn't announce, like, they announced them together, right? Or did Ground Zeroes get announced and the Phantom Pain got announced as this like gag, and then said they were
so the Phantom Pain got announced and then Ground Zeroes got, like, the Phantom Pain the gag got announced
first,
and then so check it. So the first, based on what I'm looking at here, the first teaser trailer for MGS5 looks like it came out, what the fuck, hold on. So the Ground Zeroes trailer came out September 1st, 2012, based on what I'm looking at. Which would have been
and then the gag was announced in December of 2012. So yeah, so Ground Zeroes was a thing before.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, so I guess I thought I had been misremembering it, but yeah, I had definitely watched the Ground Zeroes trailer before the Phantom Pain gag. Okay. Yeah, I guess it's hard to remember what order all this happening because there's a lot of shit going on.
Yeah.
And also let it be known, this like development thing ends with Kojima losing his fucking job. So like,
yeah, so
this is
there's a lot that happened. There's a lot that happened.
Yeah. Sorry.
Before we like move completely on to, I did want to mention. So this interview with Joaquin Magrin. They said he was heavily bandaged because of an accident, but his face is like taped up just like Ishmael is. Like,
interesting.
Yeah, completely. Like, yeah,
I didn't realize
it's like a 2-minute long like video. If you haven't seen it, we can put it in the show notes, I think. But it's literally, he looks exactly like the bandages that Ishmael has, and one of my favorite facts about Joaquin Magrin is that he had been depicted before as a like a blonde-haired like guy with a mustache, but people picked out that the picture of him was a photoshopped picture of one of Hideo Kojima's like profile photos.
It's amazing.
Yeah. But yeah, so when the official trailer that announced the game was running on a PC, the game was released for the 7th and 8th generation of video game consoles, otherwise known as PS3, PS4, Xbox 360, and Xbox One, as we discussed. And when he was asked about a PC release in E3 2013, he said that we are making it and it will be on par with the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One versions. However, he made it clear that the PC port was not their priority. I have no idea how true that is, because I've not played the PC port, so maybe somebody who's played it can like tell us.
Yeah, I mean, I have it. So I bought the PC versions of both of these just for our Let's Plays down the road. It's optimized like super fucking well, man. Like, it's crazy. My computer isn't like a beast of a computer by any means, but like it can run like Destiny 2 on like medium settings. It runs MGS5 and Ground Zeroes to the point where it looks just like the PS4 version, and I got zero lag. So
good.
I would say that the Fox engine's really, really well optimized.
I will say, so PC, I think in general has better quality like games, but a lot of games that are ported to the PC, like they get the shaft on console games that are ported to PC almost all the time.
Yeah, I would agree.
So it's good to note that something worked well.
It's too bad nothing will ever use this engine again, I don't think.
Yeah, probably not. But yeah, so Kojima confirmed that the visuals seen in the trailer would look close to those in the final game, and stated that he would like 5 to be his final Metal Gear game, noting that unlike previous titles, where he had announced that he had finished making games in the series only to return for subsequent games, his involvement with the franchise would be over this time around, and boy howdy was it. Although the trailer had Snake suffering from hallucinations in the form of a flaming whale, Kojima assured that there would be a balance and realism. He later revealed that the Phantom Pain was initially presented as an independent game so as to assess the public and industry response to the Fox engine, as he felt announcing the game as part of Metal Gear Solid 5 would bias reactions to the engine.
That's weird.
How do you feel about that assertion? I think that's
I think that's some Kojima-ism nonsense because I think
It seems very silly. I've never
What?
I've never seen a video game with an engine and thought, I like this engine a lot more because it's this game.
Well, I think the thing that completely points out that that's a contradiction is the fact that in interviews Kojima has said that they made the engine look slightly worse intentionally to sell that it was a quote-unquote indie game.
Indie. Yeah,
So like, why would that be true if he was also trying to pimp his engine?
Yeah.
So I don't know. Kojima's full of shit.
On June 10th, 2013, at E3 2013, a fourth trailer was shown at the Microsoft press conference demonstrating the new play mechanics as well as the cast of characters, and the development of an Xbox One version was announced at the conference. The PS4 version was announced the following day when Konami uploaded the red-banded version of the trailer on their YouTube channel in addition to the standard green-band version. The trailers showed the game running on PC hardware, but according to Kojima, the textures and character models somewhat based on 7th generation hardware. The development aimed to improve the technical quality for the versions released for the 8th generation of consoles. Kojima alluded that the game would possibly be too big to clear, quote, adding that the game is, quote, 200 times larger than Ground Zeroes. Kojima wanted the player... Yeah, not at all. Kojima wanted the player to connect with Snake in the Phantom Pain. To accomplish this, the loss of Mother Base, which the player developed throughout Peace Walker, would serve as a motivation for revenge for both Snake and the player. Kojima also tried making Snake relatable to newcomers of the series by making him unaware of what happened in the 9 years during which he was in a coma. Weapons, vehicles, and other armaments are unlicensed and fictional in the Phantom Pain, just as they were in Ground Zeroes, unlike previous Metal Gear Solid games. June 9th, 2014, at E3, a fifth cinematic trailer featuring Mike Oldfield's song Nuclear was shown at the Sony press conference, unveiling more plot details surrounding the Diamond Dogs and Snake's antagonistic descent. It was leaked a day earlier due to an accidental post from Konami's official YouTube channel alongside the new trailer. The official site for MGS5 was updated and included new information and images such as the development progress and the in-game map, and the evolution of Snake's design across all the games in the series. On August 25th, 2015, Kojima released a launch trailer showing Metal Gear's evolution and harmony with clips from previous games, along with the reveal of the new Metal Gear Sahelanthropus. And all in all, over $80 million was spent on the development of the game.
How much was that?
80 million doll hairs.
I feel like I've definitely hyperbolically attributed that number as being like 150, but still $80 million is a lot of money.
It's still a fucking lot of money. Yeah. You guys ready to bounce into some fucking controversy?
Yeah, let's do it. I think
it.
some people have been waiting for us to talk about this for a very long time.
Yeah. So on March 16th, 2015, Konami announced that it had restructured it. So this is before 5 came out, mind you. This is after Ground Zeroes, but before 5 came out. Konami announced that it had restructured its video game development operations to, quote, shift our production structure to a headquarters-controlled system in order to establish a steadfast operating base capable of responding to the rapid market changes that surround our digital entertainment business. Yeah, all right. The same day, references to Kojima and Kojima Productions were stripped from the promotional material and website relating to the Metal Gear series. And this also included it being removed from 5, and it being removed from the Legacy Collection, reprints of that going forward. He was cut the fuck out of all this promotional material and stuff. And then Kojima's LA studio was renamed Konami Los Angeles Studio. A new Metal Gear Solid Twitter account without references to Kojima and its username was established, and the Kojima Productions website began to redirect to the Metal Gear Solid website instead. That same day, Kojima posted a picture on his personal Twitter account captioned "Heading Off," and a Konami filing stated that as of April 1st, 2015, which of course sounds like a joke, he would no longer be among Konami's executive officers.
My first thought was this is a sick April Fool's joke.
Because of course, why are you going to announce this on April 1st? Why would anybody announce anything on April 1st?
Dude, so many fucking people were convinced this was all a joke, given... Because, you also have to keep in mind, PT happened, a couple months before the Phantom Pain stuff happened. And so, that year, it felt like it was just, PT, Phantom Pain, Ground Zero. And it was oh my God, there's so much happening. And so when this happened, it was is this part of that?
Yeah. So people it was like a completely weird thing. A lot was going on. Like the whole thing. I forgot about PT and all of this too. Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause
It
of
was
course,
a wild
he
year.
he was supposed to direct a new Silent Hill game called Silent Hills, and it was presented with a playable teaser called PT, which again did the thing where it was quote from an indie studio, and then surprise, it's Kojima and Konami.
It wasn't 7780s or whatever.
Yep. So all of this stuff led to speculation that Kojima was planning on leaving the company after the release of The Phantom Pain, which he had described as being in the conclusion of the Metal Gear series. On March 19th, an anonymous employee reported to GameSpot that these changes were the result of conflicts between Kojima and Konami. And the employee stated that Kojima and his staff were now being treated as contracted workers rather than employees, that Konami had blocked access to their corporate email and phone systems, restricting their communications, and that Kojima and the studio's senior staff planned to leave Konami in December 2015 following the conclusions of their contract and the Phantom Pain. A spokesperson for Konami denied that Kojima was leaving the company and stated that he would still be involved with Konami in the Metal Gear franchise. On March 20th, which this is 5 days later, Konami made a public statement on its website saying that Kojima would be staying with the company through at least the completion of the Phantom Pain, and that it was recruiting new staff to lead the development of future Metal Gear games. Kojima himself confirmed in a statement that he was still 100% involved in the completion of the Phantom Pain and was, quote, determined to make it the greatest game I've directed to date. Voice actress Donna Burke, who had been involved in the game, claimed that in a posting
excuse me,
on
you
Twitter,
mean the iDroid voice?
the iDroid voice of Donna Burke, confirmed or claimed in a post on Twitter that Kojima had actually been fired, but Konami denied these claims and Burke revoked her statement. On July 10th, 2015, Akio Otsuka, who provided the Japanese language voices of Solid Snake and Naked Snake, tweeted that Kojima Productions had closed its doors and that the studio would not seek any future activity, nor will it partner up with any future Konami-based products or projects. In 2015 December, why did I say it like that? I'm very strange. Kojima Productions was nominated for Developer of the Year at the Game Awards 2015, but lost out to CD Projekt Red. Kojima was reportedly blocked from attending this event by Konami's lawyers and required
Jeff's just trying to save his boy.
Kiefer Sutherland. That's what?
I said Jeff's just trying to save his boy.
Yep, trying to save his boy. He was blocked from attending the event by Konami's lawyers and required Kiefer Sutherland, the voice actor for Snake in Ground Zeroes and Phantom Pain, to accept any awards for the Phantom Pain on his behalf. So,
Should have been David.
Should have been David, but it is what it is. So it all shook out real bad. It all broke bad real bad.
It all shook out real bad.
And now Kojima's developing Death Stranding, and we have no idea when that's coming out. But at the very least, he's not pretending that it's being made by another studio.
I did want to also quickly add that I was doing a little snooping on Mondo. Mondo not only is going to be doing Metal Gear, but they had a fucking beautiful Snatcher soundtrack, a Police Knots soundtrack, and apparently they put out the 12-inch single for that song that was in the original Death Stranding trailer.
Oh, yeah.
So they've definitely worked with Kojima before, it looks like. So
That's really cool.
yeah.
So to kind of discuss some of the gameplay changes that they made, so starting with Ground Zeroes, they had a threat. They changed the whole threat detection system, so there's no meter or gauge or time to indicate what status they're in with guards if they're detected. They are instead replaced with visual and audio cues, as well as there being like no radar of any kind to be getting on with. Snake's binoculars. Yeah. Well, you have to use Snake's binoculars that have been keyed to a button now to mark enemies, and you'll be aware of their locations once you mark them.
Which I think is a great addition. I love it.
It is a very great addition. I think it adds a little bit of extra strategy to the whole celebration of sneaking.
Yeah, I think it.
What am I doing?
It forces you to. It forces you to do like the recon work that you would do if you were doing this for real.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of love it. It's like the workflow for this is also sort of the workflow for 5 in a big bad way, and I think getting used to that rinse and repeat kind of deal is fucking awesome. Where it's like, all right, show up to a spot, check it for dudes, mark the dudes, move around the dudes, or take care of the dudes.
He's a dude. She's a dude. And we're all dudes. So, of course, marking them will show them on their screen and on the iDroid and all kinds of stuff. And then there are directional cues to help players when an enemy sees them from a distance and gets closer to them. So, a little like curved line will appear on the screen in the direction that the person sees you, and they are suspicious that there's somebody there. And if they see you, a new reflex mode that you can turn off if you think it's, quote, too easy baby mode, is activated when enemy finds Snake, and it gives a very small window of time for Snake to take out the enemy before the alert goes off, which I think is a really cool addition, and I don't think it makes it any necessarily easier, as we will discuss in my experience.
Right.
Another thing is that lights can be shot out to aid the player's stealth efforts as well, to make it darker in places. Ground Zeroes itself... Yeah, Ground Zeroes itself features a total of 7 missions locked at individual levels. And after completing the main mission, players will unlock 4 extra missions called Side Ops, set at different points in the day, all set at Camp Omega, and involve specific tasks such as eliminating certain targets or obtaining classified information. And after achieving these certain objectives in the main mission, the player may unlock 2 additional extra op missions that we discussed earlier, called Deja Vu and Jamais Vu. And we'll discuss what those are when we talk about the game. As the game is introductory in nature, being a prologue, the core story mission can be completed in a very short time frame. However, the game has additional challenges, missions, and alternative methods of play. And at the time, a companion app for iOS and Android was made to help players access the in-game map and other iDroid functions on their smartphones.
I did use that the first time I played Ground Zeroes, so I can talk a little bit about that at some point.
Yeah, I did not know that was a thing when I played it the first time, so... Console versions of the game also have community features that allow player to look at other players' performance in the game, even showing where they were killed on the map. Atmospheric weather and lighting in Ground Zeroes is mission proprietary, meaning that the setting of the game depends on the individual mission being played. With a real-time day and night cycle originally being planned for it, but left out in favor of fully utilizing it in the Phantom Pain.
What about the Phantom
Kojima
Pain?
has the Phantom Pain. Well, the Phantom Pain is very dry all the time. So we won't talk about that. Kojima has spoken about the restrictive nature. How crazy it is that we covered the Phantom Pain years before.
Yeah, I will say
the game it's based on.
there have been definite moments where Alessio, a couple drinks in, will be scrolling through and going, "Why the fuck did we ever do that episode?" Like, I think when we get to the end of this, if we end up being a show that can say we have interviews with all of the voice actors and technical people that have worked on these games, I will look back on that episode and be like, "What the fuck were we thinking?"
Should we remaster the Phantom Pain?
We should remaster the Phantom Pain immediately.
I love it.
Remember when I watched that at work?
Yeah, remember Hushy?
Remember?
Oh, gosh.
Never forget Hushy.
Get out of here.
Jesus Christ.
Kojima has spoken about the restrictive nature of previous Metal Gear titles, saying that they set the player on a rail to get from point A to point B with a certain amount of freedom in between. In contrast, Kojima's team instead offered the player new ways of traversal and sneaking methods, such as taking a jeep, a car, or a helicopter around the mission area. This was in order for Kojima to experience a true open world experience with Ground Zeroes. With Peace Walker, the elements were largely unchained, Unchained, Kingdom Hearts Unchained key. Mm-hmm. They were largely unchanged from Ground Zeroes, but they added a bunch of stuff. So you have the binoculars, maps, variety of weapons, explosives, and stealth-based items such as cardboard boxes and decoys, which are really funny.
Yeah.
And when the enemy uses decoys too, and they scare me sometimes.
Oh yeah, they're very scary, especially if you get Lisa. Things get real scary.
Oh god. Following one of the series' traditions, the Phantom Pain encourages players to progress through the game without killing, using non-lethal weapons such as tranquilizer darts to subdue enemies, and honestly rewards that way more in this game. Players may traverse the game world with vehicles such as jeeps and tanks in order to, in addition to traveling on foot or on horseback. And as certain locations are mountainous, occasionally players can opt to go rock climbing as a shortcut, depending on where you are.
Unless you're doing the side ops. I definitely discovered while doing the side ops that there is no ranking system, so it doesn't really fucking matter if you kill people.
Yeah. Exactly.
So in the side ops, I was definitely like, at first I was being super sneaky snake, and then I'm like, wait a minute, I'm on a deadline.
Why am I doing this?
Why am I doing this? I'm just going to mow everyone down and rescue this prisoner and get the fuck out of here.
Which is great, especially on the side ops that are key to the story, so you can just do whatever the fuck you want.
Yep.
Which we'll also talk about.
Yep. I can't believe we're talking about 5 right now. This is surreal.
No, it's crazy.
This is weirder than talking to Cam Clark, I think.
You may also call for helicopter support against enemy soldiers or request airstrikes that can bomb target area or change the current weather. And Snake can call on AI companions, including Quiet, a silent female sniper with supernatural abilities, Dorsey, a horse capable of wearing armor and hiding Snake during travel. They fucking call him D-Horse, and I took calling him Dorsey, and because it's a much better name and it sounds exotic.
I love it. I will say really quickly, I was playing some last night, and my favorite thing in the world, I hop on the helicopter to end the mission. We're flying away, and I forget that in order to get D-Horse out of there, they also, like, Fulton the horse. And so I just look down, and I see the horse get snatched up by this giant balloon, and you hear, like, the horse neighing into the sky. Like, it's just like... and then Donna Burke comes over the fucking iDroid, and she's like, Buddy is leaving the battlefield. And I was like, Buddy?
Oh,
That's awesome.
So I'm going to start calling my D-Horse Buddy.
Buddy. Hey, buddy. So you got Dorsey, a horse capable of wearing armor and hiding Snake during travel. D-Walker, a manned, highly agile mobile weapons platform that can provide heavy weapon support.
Hey, Dorsey can take shits on people too, by the way.
Yeah, he can. He can take shits on people and make them slip on it.
On command.
Yep. And D-Dog, otherwise known as DD, a wolf pup trained and raised on the mother base to assist him in the field. And
he's secret,
abilities
though.
and he's secret. Him secret.
Yeah, we'll talk about him when you get to him.
Yeah, love that boy. Like I make an effort to find him, because he's the best. He's the best.
He's so
I like him
cute.
better than Quiet.
Even Ocelot's
cute.
like he's the cutest little dude in the world.
Yeah, he's cute, and I think he's the best companion, even better than Quiet. But that's just my opinion. People say a bunch of shit about Quiet, and Quiet's good. DD's better. Their abilities and effectiveness. DD doesn't leave you. Will depend on the player's relationship with them. So using them and letting them do things will increase your relationship with them. Like in Peace Walker, the Phantom Pain features a base building system that allows players to develop weapons and items from their home base. Recruitment of enemy soldiers and prisoners is also returned for this purpose, allowing the base to grow through organization. The player is given the option to access their base from the real-life smartphone and other devices via a companion app, but unlike in Police Walker, where players can only see Mother Base from the air, they can control Snake as he explores the complex on foot. The Fulton surface air recovery system, an item introduced into gameplay in Peace Walker, returns as well, with players able to transport captured soldiers and other objects such as animals and vehicles back to Mother Base. With a change being that people can actually see when you're Fultoning people, so you have to be stealthy and strategic about when you use it.
Yeah, they can shoot that shit.
Yeah, they can shoot them down. They alert people. They see it, so it's a little bit more realistic, but not
Spoopy.
as fun. Money for upgrading Mother Base defenses and technologies can also be collected from objects found on the map, such as diamonds, shipping containers, and special blueprint boxes, as well as sending recruited soldiers on combat missions around the world. The income is invested in upgrades to the appearance and abilities, weapons, and equipment of Snake and his AI companions and vehicles. For example, Snake's prosthetic arm can be modified with a taser, echolocation function, or remote controls that allow it to fly as a drone, or post-game, it can become the Hand of Jehuti, which allows you to send out wisps that pull people towards you. It's great.
Yeah.
But yeah, the one thing that I think is bullshit about the money system, and I've talked to Alessio about this, so Isaac, be careful as you play.
Yikes.
Is that there is 2 distinct pools of your money, which is called GMP, like Global Military Points or whatever it's called. There's an offline pool and an online pool. And if you are not connected to the server, you cannot access your online pool.
I do have a
And
quick
it
question about
uses-
that. When would you not be connected though? Did you intentionally
Like-
not connect, or did it kick you?
No,
for some reason?
there are times when you can't access the server. It kicks you out. You can't log in. Your internet's down. Like something.
That's
and you
so
can't connect.
weird. Yeah, I didn't get kicked
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah, so I just had connection issues. Sometimes they were doing like server maintenance or like server was down or whatever. So there was just times when I couldn't access my online money. So I would have like 2 million GMP or something like that, but then I would get kicked off or I couldn't log into the server, and I would have negative 50,000 GMP because it uses your offline pool first. So, which is cool because having negative dollars GMP in your bank affects your another new thing, which is morale for your people. And if your morale gets too low, we can talk about the morale system when we talk about the game itself, like when we actually get into 5. But it's kind of bullshit, and I'm not entirely sure how it works. But if it's too low, people just leave.
Well,
But
and like
that's cool.
I think my big complaint, since we're talking about the economy stuff right now, I think my big complaint is like, not that I have to have a complaint, but like, I think from launch, so like I played Ground Zeroes literally the night it came out. I beat Ground Zeroes and like half of the side ops, like that night between midnight and like 3 a.m. And then with the Phantom Pain, I got it a little after launch, but I feel like the cost of developing some of these items feels like it's been inflated since the game came out. Because some
Well,
of
a lot
this
of them are
shit
prohibitive.
takes so much money. It's insane. Like, I'm just like, you develop 1 or 2 things and you're broke already. And so it's just like, some of it's like
they have,
necessary.
gold. They have like gold panels that are clearly meant for you to develop with online money, based on like doing all of those like 3-day long missions. Like,
Yeah,
it's insane.
and they're hella expensive. So
Yeah, for sure.
just know that going into it, this game is going to bombard you with menus. And it was so bad for me jumping into my original save game. I was so bewildered. And I'm pretty good with menus. Like, I love JRPGs. I will play a bunch of finicky PC games. But it was so bewildering to handle all that shit after a long time away that I literally just deleted my save and started everything over for the show. Because I'd rather ease into it than immediately be swimming in like the 12-foot end of the pool.
Yeah.
So
So the as far as like all the stuff going on in the game, the enemy AI has improved in terms of situational awareness, and if players frequently use particular weapons or tactics to subdue enemy soldiers, it will see the enemy increase in number and be outfitted with better equipment. For example, the frequent use of headshots will see enemy soldiers don metal helmets to make targeting the head harder. The game, as we mentioned, also has a dynamic weather system and day and night cycle that runs in real time, and Snake is able to fast forward when he lights the item. Phantom cigar.
sorry.
Yeah. Can you cue that here really quick, Alessio?
Yeah.
Oh, it's just a box, huh? Yeah.
Just a box.
So the Phantom cigar is a type of electronic cigar, and a panel from a digital silver Seiko watch appears to denote the time passing.
Well, and this hold on, and this guy, I just want to mention the presence of the Phantom cigar, and on the inside insert for Ground Zeroes depicts an image of Big Boss with a green skeleton illuminated. One, so many people were like, in 5, I swear to God, it can't be Big Boss because he does not smoke electronic cigars. He hates them. And 2, everyone thought that you were playing as a snatcher because of the green skeleton. I will just say the one thing that we will say right here, right now is no, you are not playing as a snatcher.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about snatchers later in this episode.
The passage of time by using this item enables players to analyze movement of marked enemy forces in the area, such as shifts in sentry patrols and individual patrol routes. Weather effects, also such as sandstorms and rain. Sandstorm, my fucking favorite thing. Oh God, no!
How amazing would that be? Is I want a mod on the PC version that every time it's like sandstorm approaching, you just hear in the distance.
Getting louder.
God, that'd be fucking amazing. Surely, I gotta look it up. Surely gotta be that mod.
It's gotta exist somewhere. But yeah, so weather effects such as sandstorms and rain affects the environments by reducing visibility or masking the sound of footsteps. The player, well, this is
What happened?
maybe not entirely true. A game design direction allows the player to choose in what order the story events take place by selecting missions in any order they like. A little bit, but like, okay.
And we can talk about it once we get into 5, but I definitely encountered a weird situation given how you encounter a specific boss and when. And I'll be sure to talk about it when we actually get to it.
Yep. Kojima spoke about, again, the restricted nature of the titles, saying that they would they were on a rail to get the player from point A to point B, where Phantom Pain and Ground Zeroes offers players new ways of traversal and sneaking. They were supposed to be a plane, but a plane and a motorcycle, but they were
and a Metal Gear
development and a Metal Gear. Players were also able to traverse the game world or deploy directly to a landing zone that allowed for different approaches. A video published after E3 2015 convention showcased this, with the same mission played 4 times in a number of different ways, with the player opting for stealth, launching a direct assault via helicopter gunship, attempting to assassinate a target with a sniper rifle, and smuggling an explosive device into an enemy base by way of unsuspecting patrol vehicle crew. The player's action affect the wider game world. For example, sabotaging a radar installation will open up new entry points. The playable world in Phantom Pain is 200 times larger than that of Ground Zeroes, featuring a variety of climate conditions and environments, allowing the player to freely roam the map while proceeding to either story missions or side quests as in other games with non-linear gameplay. In addition, players who have previously played the Ground Zeroes game are able to import save data into the Phantom Pain and gain special perks.
What kind of perks are there? Is it just, hey, you play Ground Zeroes?
No, it's the dudes that you rescue.
Yeah, so you rescue a bunch of people. You have the option to rescue people and Fulton people in Ground Zeroes, and
well, you can't Fulton them. You have to manually
the helicopter.
Take them to the helicopter. But if you rescue them, they show up in your game.
Oh, yeah, and it's weird cool how they stagger them. So like, what ended up happening for me is like, there's a specific fella, and we'll talk about him. There's a specific fella who you get in your game pretty much immediately in 5. But for some reason, the game like withheld all of my other rescued people until like a couple hours later.
Yeah, they do stagger them out for some reason.
Yeah, they like sprinkle them slowly. I guess that might be to keep you from like OPing the fuck out of the beginning, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Which we will argue is probably the best part of the game.
Right, and should not be OP through because it's pure.
So pure. So yeah, that's it for all of our generalities. I'll talk about kind of like the setup for Ground Zeroes, and then we'll fucking get into it.
Here's to you, Nicola and Bart. Rest forever here in our hearts. The last and final moment is yours. That agony is your triumph. Here's to you, Nicola and Bart. Rest forever here in our hearts.
Joan Baez, baby.
Before we get super deep into it, I just really want to throw this out there because I've literally been waiting since September 2015 to hear Isaac's impression of the opening cutscene for this game.
His impression of the what?
Opening cutscene for this game.
Oh.
Yeah?
Okay.
What did you think of the game?
Well, let's set it up first.
No, I mean, like, I like legitimately just like want to hear what Isaac thought of, like, I don't really care about like specific details or plot beats or anything. I just want to know what Isaac thought of like Just like the graphics and like the music and the mood and just all the
okay.
like the.
Okay.
Like, I mean, it would have been like the trailer. You know what I mean? For like all intents and purposes.
Yeah. So I thought it was really cool. They were really playing up to the high tech graphic by like making it rain the whole time, and
What, with money?
yes, definitely with money. I just felt like Ground Zeroes, it was like constant rain / wet everywhere, and so I feel like back in PS3 era, it was like, hey, let's make things shiny, and that's how you know that it's really good. So, but in a good way.
I love
this,
that.
This
Covered
a
in
good way.
Vaseline and fucking slap it on its ass and send it on its way.
But I thought like the graphics were intense, going from like Peace Walker and seeing what Chico looked like in that game, and then coming. Oh, I mean, granted, Peace Walker was PSP, yeah. So
Yeah. I was fucking stoked, dude.
yeah,
Like, as soon as I saw all my favorite friends again, I was like, in a continuation of a game that I really enjoyed, I was like, holy shit, this is amazing.
yeah, it was intense. It was the opening cutscene was really cool, I thought, and the shift, I guess, the tonal, the soundscape shift from the environment sounds to the song
Oh, yeah.
was really cool how they did that. And then going into like the first person view, and I guess what's the guy's name?
Kiefer?
Skullface.
Oh, Skullface, yeah.
Yeah. So okay, let me just ask this.
I mean, we can dive into the story stuff too. I didn't
okay.
want to. I just
Well,
kind of wanted to get. I wanted to get Isaac's like initial thoughts before we dove
Over
in.
under.
I'm sorry,
thought it
Sam.
was very
Thank you
good.
for letting me derail your episode.
You are quite welcome, as always, and never apologize.
I thought it was
What were you saying, Isaac?
very good. Pleasantly surprised. And I kind of what do you call it? Got excited again, I guess you could say, because I had taken a break. Metal Gear Solid.
Right. Dude,
So
I would
Gets you
kind
hyped,
of
pulls you in.
I would
Yeah.
kind of argue that like this cutscene right here, at least for me, like more than even 5. This cutscene before Ground Zeroes actually came out, I think was like peak hype that I've ever had for Kojima.
Yeah.
Ever.
I could see
Was
that.
in that moment, and then like not like everything from here was a downward spiral or anything, but like I think every moment after this just like slowly the mystery and the seduction kind of
Well, it kind of
Withered
plateaued, right? Like
yeah.
like it maybe dipped a little bit, but like it definitely plateaued as far as
Yeah.
hype goes.
Right. But this was like the most hyped I'd been for a Metal Gear thing in fucking forever.
Yeah.
I will say this cutscene has it all, essentially. It like
Yeah.
throws everything at you.
Yeah. This is
Well,
peak
and-
Kojima visual storytelling in my
Yeah.
opinion. Like
Yeah.
he does such a
My
good job
favorite-
of not being long-winded.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we'll like obviously talk about it a little bit more, but I just want to throw out my favorite part about I think the scene, like the whole thing is great, but I love the like when they drop the patches out of the helicopter and then
yeah.
they fall past Snake as he's climbing up the cliff.
Yeah, one of them actually falls
fucking
down
love
Snake's
that.
Yeah,
pants.
that was awesome.
Yep. So I fucking love that.
And then him rock climbing up the cliff.
All right, so now let's talk about kind of like where we are. So the game is set in March 1975. It takes place a couple months after the events of Peace Walker, and you also control the returning protagonist, Big Boss, notably voiced by Kiefer Sutherland and David Hayter.
For a second, I listened to that I heard that as notably worse. I was like, wow, the notably
I'm not-
worse Kiefer Sutherland.
I mean, honestly, so it's hard to really judge, right?
different.
Because he has a total of like 3 lines in the entire game. So,
Right.
it's hard to really put a rating on it.
Yeah. I said more words than him in a single episode of this podcast, I think.
Yeah. But yeah, so Big Boss works with military. Alessia, can you say this because I don't know how to pronounce it?
Militaire Sans Frontières.
Which I'm gonna call MSF. Going forward. So
I didn't roll my
to
R's
infiltrate
enough, but that was roughly it.
Militaire sans
Sans
frontières.
Frontières.
Sans frontières. Militaries sans frontiers. So Big Boss's job is to infiltrate an American black site on Cuban soil called Camp
African
Omega
American
that was
site.
Okay. And it used to be used as a refugee camp for people fleeing Cuba and Haiti. It is now home to a prison that is being used for extraordinary rendition, as it has no legal recognition under the United States Constitution. And Snake's job is to extract Paz Ortega Andrade, who is better known and even more excellently known as Pacifica Ocean.
Jesus.
Who did not die in Peace Walker, who has information regarding the whereabouts of the person or persons known as Cypher. He's also rescuing Chico, who, if you forgot who our friend Chico is, he's a Sandinista and a former child soldier who was captured by Skullface when he went to go rescue Paz, because
Former
he
child
her.
star.
Former child star Chico. There's a
No last
British
name.
singer. There's a British singer named Chico, who was on, I think, like I want to say it was like the second season of X Factor or something like that.
Oh, I love
And he just goes by Chico, and he didn't win, but like he was one hit wonder there for a while, and he had a song called Chico Time.
Wow.
And then when you like the hook of it is like, what time is it? And then in the video he like turns around dramatically to face the camera and goes, it's Chico time.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
So if you
That's fucking
if you-
amazing.
Yeah, so just look up It's Chico Time on YouTube if you're into that. It's excellent.
If
He's
you're not
dancing
into
around
that,
a
what's
bunch of
wrong with
kids.
you?
It's a little weird. Yeah, there's something wrong with Chico. Yeah, so he was captured by Skullface when he went to go rescue Paz, who is the commander of the paramilitary force XOF, or XOF, who are in control of Camp Omega. And Snake is supported by Kazuhira Kaz Miller and Huey Emmerich from Mother Base in the Caribbean Sea.
We got Kazuhiro Benedict, Eggs, Linguini, Master
McDonald's,
Michael
Ronald
McDonald's,
McDonald,
Wendy's Miller
Wendy's Miller, the Burger King
himself.
Kazuhira Miller.
You're not wrong.
So we're fucking talking into Ground Zeroes right now, and
Slip it
so
in.
gross. So the main menu, of course, of Ground Zeroes, it offers a kind of like a read, which is an 11-page retelling of the events of Peace Walker and setting up what's going on in Ground Zeroes. And there's also a cassette tapes menu. With respect to Ground Zeroes, there's nothing in there, but you can immediately listen to the briefing and setup tapes for what's going on, which is what was described in the last 2 pages of the backstory, as well as listening to Paz's diary tapes from Peace Walker.
Yeah, I think
and
they just give you
submissions.
all of them instead of
Yeah.
like you having to unlock anything or whatever.
Find them. So you can. So if you didn't listen to them in Peace Walker, you didn't play Peace Walker, you can listen to them. They're very good.
There's also some music. I think it's like 1 or
Yeah.
2 tapes of music. So
Yeah.
here's the deal. I've collected all of the cassette tapes. I am not going to go into great detail about all of them. So I would just mention that up front. If somebody's like, "Oh, can you mention this one little shred of lore that happens on tape number blah blah blah?" Like we're not.
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to do that.
No, I don't think so. I think we'll just bring it up if it's interesting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So to kind of set up the story, what's about to happen, Huey seems very interested in allowing the IAEA nuclear inspection agency to check out Mother Base, and despite the fact that Kaz and Boss did not want it to happen, he agreed to it behind their backs and claims that it's so they can hide Zeke and the nuke that they have and tell the world that they're clean to assuage fears about their nuclear capabilities. And then, of course, they find out that Paz survived and is being held by Cypher for interrogation. And what they decided to do was to send Chico to Cuba with his sister Amanda, so they didn't do anything dumb, because he fell in love with Paz. And of course, Chico does something dumb, doesn't arrive in Cuba, and got off the boat halfway through his journey to go after Paz.
Because he fell in love with Paz.
Yeah. And he of course sends a distress signal asking for help from Boss, and Kaz and Boss realize that it's a setup, but they have to go anyway so that Chico does not talk. And they agree that despite that the nuclear inspection is coming, that it has to be the boss that does it, because Chico and probably Paz will actually take orders from him. And then explains everything about the black site, and that in the worst case scenario, Paz can die, but Chico has to come back.
The other big thing too is, can we talk about the fucking headphone jack that is in Chico's chest?
Yeah, he just has a fucking.
I don't
what the
understand. I
shit?
still have
So
no clue
crazy.
what's going on there.
Yeah, I don't really know. I have
Given
no clue.
well,
To
so
his heart.
given what we know about a specific hospital that will reveal itself later down the road, do you think it has something to do
Oh.
with that, Sam?
Maybe it could be.
Okay.
That was interesting.
Yeah, I didn't think about it until like
It
literally
would
just
also
now.
explain some very creepy concept art too.
Oh God, yeah, you're totally right.
Yeah, so yeah, maybe that is what it is. Isaac, you'll know what we're talking about soon enough.
Yeah.
So yeah, that pretty much that brings us up to speed with what goes down in this opening cutscene, except for who the fuck these people are that kidnapped him. Should we talk about that?
Yeah, so we lead off with Hot Coldman, not Hot Coldman, Skullface.
If only
looks like-
there was
he
a
kinda-
rumor for a long time that it was the same
that
person.
Skullface was Hot Coldman. He's not Hot Coldman. But yeah, he walks into Camp Omega to a cage where Chico is being held and tells Chico that, quote, she told him everything and that she didn't suffer long like promised. And then he gives Chico a Walkman, where Chico unplugs a set of earbuds from his chest and starts listening to Here's to You on the Walkman after the man asks him how it feels to play traitor and telling him to give his boss his regards.
Oof. I love
And
this
then while
fucking song.
it's so good. While Here's to You is playing, the man takes a jeep to a helicopter while Snake and Kaz discuss Paz being alive in the upcoming mission. And then he removes the XOF logo from the helicopter, and he reveals himself to be Skullface on the screen, with parentheses, identity unknown.
Can I talk about Here's to You super quickly?
Yeah.
So, for those of you unfamiliar with this song, I think it's super.
Here's to you, Nicola and Bob.
I'm definitely gonna use this in the edit for sure. I wish I could just play the whole fucking thing, but I did want to talk about it because it's actually super important also to the politics of kind of what's going on during this time. So like. I guess one of the things that we've never talked about, and it might just be because I just watched a fuck ton of those CNN decade documentaries on Netflix. But like the political backdrop to what's happening in these games, I think is ultra important as well. Like there's a lot of Cold War slippery fuck ups that have happened. And I believe during this era right now, it's like Nixon is in the midst of like being in a kind of shitty place. And then by the time 5 happens, Ronald Reagan is going to have been getting in trouble for selling weapons to the Sandinistas from the Afghanis. And there's just a lot of crazy shit going on. But part of that crazy shit is some trials that happened earlier in the century, but that Joan Baez, who is like I would say at the time is very much so a hardcore activist musician. But Ennio Morricone, those of you who are not familiar with Ennio Morricone, he's also done a lot of work for movies, primarily spaghetti westerns like Good, the Bad, the Ugly. But he also worked on Inglourious Bastards and Django Unchained. But he did the music and Joan did the vocals, and this came out in 1971. And it was a soundtrack for a movie called Seiko and Vanzetti, which is a movie about Nicola Seiko and Bartolomeo Vanzetti, which is... There's Bart and Nicola right there. There were 2 Italian Americans who got sentenced to death for being anarchists in the 20s.
And the post credit scene of the infamous post credits scene discusses
Right.
this. Yeah.
Right, and it's part of the lyrics of the song actually came from an interview that was conducted with Vanzetti before he died. But it's just really fucking sad that these guys, for all intents and purposes, and we don't necessarily need to get deep into the politics, but these guys, for like all intents and purposes, weren't doing anything wrong. There was just a bunch of fervor of like, oh, they're fucking weird and European and have bizarre political beliefs. And so this predates the Red Scare kind of McCarthyism bullshit. But this definitely set a tone for American treatment of political dissent. And it's just really sad.
Yep.
So that's what the song's about.
Yep. So yeah, our job, we're playing now. Our job is to find Chico and extract Chico and then find Paz. So I completely fucked up the beginning. Like, I got seen immediately. Like, I wasn't paying the attention,
yeah.
and I got seen immediately. So I just kind of restarted the mission, because at what point do you kind of call a whole run a wash? You know what I mean?
Sure.
So after I did that, I developed a strategy using the rocks on the right to take out that tower that's sitting there, and then once you do that, kind of sneaking over to the camp where Chico was relatively easy.
Nice.
For me, at least. So
Yeah.
I don't know how you guys did with this, but I did not do well, and then I did really well.
Right. So I'm also curious too, do you guys always go for Chico first or Paz first?
I did not realize you could do them out of order.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So obviously once you've beaten it, you know where they're at. Yeah, you can do them out of order if you want.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Does it make it easier?
Or no, I would say it makes it harder because when you save Paz,
Yeah.
midway through making your escape, no matter what, they notice she's gone, and they ring the alarms. So I'd say it's actually kind of harder because then you have to go back and save another dude like in the middle of a fucking shitstorm.
Yeah. And also,
at least I think you can break the sequence. Let me look it up real quick and make sure I'm not talking out of my ass, but I'm pretty positive you can break the sequence.
yeah, because the other thing too is that as you're rescuing, what am I trying to say right now? Paz is located like in the smack dab middle of the camp. So Chico's more on the outskirts, and it's easier to get to him and take him out because there's an exfil spot like right down the cliff from where Chico is. So it's way easier to start with Chico and then move on to Paz.
Yeah, you can rescue Paz first, but arguably it is more difficult.
So we won't break the sequence for this particular.
Yeah, I didn't mean
No,
to.
that's really cool to know, though. I had no idea you could do that. I guess it makes sense that you can, but I just never thought that you could.
I treated this game, I think when this game came out on my PS3 copy, which I don't think I have anymore. I just have it on PS4. I treated this game like many of us treated the Pizza Hut demo disc back in the day. Like, that's how stoked I was for 5. So I just played the fuck out of this game. But it sucks that this game was like, I think when it came out was more than $20. I think it was like 40.
Yeah.
So it sucks that it was like a
$39.99.
$40 game.
Yeah.
Well, that's what people were like. This doesn't feel like it should be $40, and I'm like inclined to agree.
Right. I mean, I feel like if anything, it should have been like a $10 or $20 full price.
I can see like 20 because like it. If you think about it, like you make it what it is, but there's not a lot to it. You know,
right.
General.
And we can talk about what there is to it once we get done with the main stuff.
Yeah. So I played it on normal, and when you get down to where Chico is, at least on normal, there are 3 guards around the prison camp. So there's 2 on the outside of the walls and then 1 inside. And what I discovered after I dealt with it was that taking out the guard directly in front of you where you come towards his prison, and then doing it to the guy on the inside the same way is probably the easiest way to do it, because when I played, I did the 2 guys on the outside, and the guy on the inside noticed one of them, so I had to kind of like rush to take him out before he noticed what was going on. But
yeah, did anybody play anything on hard?
No.
Okay, so I didn't S rank everything. So I got all of the
Unless
trophies.
he's a fucking psychopath, is what we're
I'm
trying
sorry.
to say.
So I got all of the trophies, but getting all the trophies does not give you a 100% completion on the main menu. I did not get a 100% completion. I think I've got like a 97% or something.
What else do you have to do?
Because the one thing, so you don't have to S rank on hard to get all the trophies. You just have to S rank on normal.
Oh, so you
but
have to rank on hard.
but you do have to play every mission on hard twice to unlock all the trials, which is a separate trophy. And so I S ranked probably about half of the missions on hard, but not all of them. Hard fucking
what changes?
Sucks, you guys.
Oh God.
So no, well, I mean, maybe I'm being hypercritical. So reflex mode is off. I think it's automatically off. I might be wrong. It's either off automatically. If it's not, it doesn't last very long. I know you can turn it off on the whole game if you go into the options. If you turn reflex mode off, you automatically get an automatic like 25,000 points added to every score by default, which is cool. But the guards, I swear to God, you guys, the guards can see you and hear you from fucking a mile away. So like that's the big difference. Like all the guards are acting like they're like hopped up on coke and they're like wired and have eagle eyes. And
Look with your eagle eyes.
yeah, some
My
of the
brand!
missions, some of the missions you don't start with a trank gun. Like,
Oh, wow.
and some of the missions you just don't have weapons to start with.
Sick.
So it's pretty tough. But I think this main op is not that much different in hard, other than the vision thing.
Yeah.
I think everything else, just to keep it story canonical, like most of the details are the same except for the vision and the hearing. And they also can kill you in like 2 fucking bullets, which is great. Like you get seen once and like they're gonna no scope headshot you from like across the map.
360 no scope, baby.
Yeah. But yeah, so I just felt like I'd ask because I definitely had to. Oh, and here's the big thing. If you're trying to S rank anything, the big thing that it grades you on is speed.
Yeah.
And it grades you on not killing anybody.
Yep.
You can get an alert or 2, and based on how quickly you move, you can pretty much offset the negative points. The major problem is like if you kill somebody even accidentally, it will negatively impact your score quite a bit. And the other big thing is like if you take hits, I believe that it registers on the score. But if you rescue prisoners, you can also kind of wipe away some of the negative score.
Yep. Yeah.
So yeah,
Anybody have any trouble infiltrating this prison area?
we're still talking about the Chico spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think it was
Blowing up Chico's spot.
Yeah, I didn't think it was too bad. I think as long as you're within 35 meters of people, the crosshairs will illuminate red when you can get them. But even if you're like,
cool.
yeah, but even if you're like 40 or 50 meters away, it's still pretty easy to get headshots with the fucking trank.
Yeah, there's some drop, but it's not a lot.
Yeah. Nobody has helmets either, so you can pretty much, and you've got, I think, like 14 bullets, or no, 21 bullets.
Yeah.
You can trank like, there's 45 guards total in this main. I'm sorry that I am a fucking lunatic. There are 45 guards.
Yes, you are.
In this map, because I only know that because one of the trial is tagging all of them. There are 45 guards. The easiest way is to just like get them to sound the alarm and all run to one place. But there are 45 dudes, so effectively you can trank like 2/3 of them and be fine. So yeah, I don't know. I didn't have a huge problem getting over here, but it's tense as fuck the first time you play it because it's not like anything you've ever played Metal Gear before.
Exactly. Like it's like, where do I go? How do I do this? You have so many different like places and options to choose from and different ways to get to where you need to go. It's very strange. And I think Camp Omega as a setting is great. I think Camp Omega at night is like tip top.
Sublime. Yeah. I think and I've said this before, I think Camp Omega at night in this rain weather,
Sailor's Delight.
I think this is what Kojima wanted the heliport in MGS1 to be all those years ago. is just like this big, vast playground of sneaking. And this feels like he finally kind of got to do what he always wanted to do.
I think I messed up the order.
What'd you
Not
do?
order, but so I
Secretly rescued Paz first.
Isaac's like, I killed both the kids and got the fuck out of there.
Yep.
yeah, that's what they wanted me to do. No, I didn't know you could pop in a truck and drive it. So I found a truck pretty early on, and I was like, "Oh, cool! I can drive this thing." And I realized that some of the guards don't really notice you if you're in the truck.
Yeah, because the truck's covered. If you're in a
Yeah.
Jeep, they will 100%
Oh, for
be
sure.
like, who's that asshole?
So like I breezed past a few of the guards and got to where the prison was.
Fuck, Isaac? Dude, I love this. I love this game because it's definitely going to allow for some weird stories.
Yeah.
I've never even thought to do that. I think that's incredible.
I didn't. It was amazing. I was like, "Wow, this is awesome." I mean, granted, all right, this is after dying and getting spotted a ton,
Yeah.
trying to figure out.
Why'd you
the
have to
game.
say all that, Isaac? I imagine that you did this your first go.
I want to set the expectations, you know.
Yeah. He wants to be honest with us.
Yes.
you know?
I appreciate it.
Honest
Thank
with us, honest with himself.
But then I think I was watching the video after I beat it, and this guy on the playthrough used the same truck to go to rescue Paz or go into the inner base.
Oh, to go through the gate.
Yeah, and I was like, that is so much easier because I had to like sneak my way all the way up north,
Right.
and that was a pain.
I love that fucking base area, you guys.
Yeah,
Like the little internal area or
Oh,
whatever.
it's so cool.
Oof.
Yeah,
And getting up in that little tower, too. Oh, buddy. It's
Oh,
a fun
God.
game. I really enjoy this game.
It's
Sorry.
fun.
So yeah, once you get down to Chico, you get to his cage. There's a bunch of prisoners in the area. I think there's 4 prisoners in addition to Chico down there, that are all have bags on their head, and you have to find Chico's cage. And when you do, he freaks out and tells Boss to get away from him, which alerts the other prisoners, and they start yelling for Boss to come get them. And Snake chokes Chico out.
Yeah.
to shut up.
Why the fuck is Chico afraid of Snake? Like, I never quite understood that. Like, shouldn't he be excited? Because he summoned Snake.
Yeah. Well, or maybe he's not excited because like he did it as part of a trap. Like he knows it's a trap for Snake.
Well, why wouldn't he just tell him?
I don't know. But once Chico shuts up, so the other prisoners, and Kaz asks if Chico's able to walk, and Chico has some fucking bolts through his ankles.
Oh, yeah. That was fucked up and sad. There is some
yeah,
fucked
so
up torture stuff in this, and there's probably going to be some shit later that we talk about that like might need a trigger warning for people, because
Yeah. it's
this
a
game
lot.
gets dark.
Yeah. But yeah, so Boss would have to carry Chico to the RZ. And there are 4 other prisoners in the camp, like I said. And I don't think I was going to rescue them originally until I realized that the LZ was like right down the cliff and not smack dab inside of Camp Omega like I thought it was. So I was just like, fuck it, I'll rescue everybody. So you
Mad
can
props
you
to
can
our
grab
boy
them.
Morpho, though. I feel like
Yeah,
we gotta shout him out.
Love Morpho. Morpho is like based Morpho instead of
I mean, dude, like, I hate to say this, but like, Morpho is bae.
Morpho is Bay. Holy shit, Morpho is Bay. Based Morpho. Spoilers, RIP in peace, Morpho.
Yeah, rip in peace.
Rip in peace. But yeah, so rescuing the other 4 of them like gave me the warm and fuzzies. The other prisoners. I think one of them when I was carrying him down, said like I can see her face again, and like it made me like smile and get all warm inside.
Yeah, one of the guys is like, "Can you take me to a phone?"
Yeah,
Which like made me real sad.
yeah.
You don't need to rescue them for S rank, though. Unfortunately,
No, you do
So-
not. But yeah, it's nice to do, and I think they do show up in your mother base too, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think everybody except
5.
for the finger and the eye and Mr. Kojima, everybody else is not like a high ranking guy. They're just sort of like an okay ranking guy.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, so you can rescue the prisoners. So what I did was I just took all 5 of them down to the LZ and then called Morpho and just put them all on the helicopter at the same time.
Yeah,
Is
in
that
some
like-
of the side op stuff, you can there's a Jeep nearby that you can just like load the Jeep up for all of them and just take them to another helicopter spot further up.
Gotcha. I just found it was easy because like the LZ is like literally right down the cliff, and as you're going, 2 guards will walk down, but they're really easy to take out because they're bunched up together, so you can be like with one and then get the other one before he notices. At least I did. And then after that, it's just like there's nobody, and you can just take them one by one, and then just load them up one by one, and it's really easy and simple.
if you've never played World of Warcraft, this is what all the quests in that game feel like.
Yep. But yeah, so I didn't have a lot of trouble with that one. Is that what you did, Alessia? Did you get the Jeep and then take them to somewhere else, or?
That's in one of the side ops. I don't think there's a Jeep nearby in the
gotcha.
main op. I don't think there's a Jeep in this level in the main op. I think there's just a big truck.
Oh yeah, okay.
But
Isaac, I want to know if you rescued the other prisoners. Are you a monster or are you a hero?
or are you both?
Or are you both?
I'm neither. Oh. I'm mortal. No, I rescued them.
While you're holding people, I don't know if you guys know this, you can press R2 and throw people.
Oh, it's
I
nice.
definitely experimented and threw somebody in the ocean.
Oh no!
Yeah, there's a lot of weird.
prisoner or a guard.
It was a guard.
Okay.
There are a lot of weird tricks. So one of the achievements is to get all the XOF badges. If you if you lay on your belly, hold L2 to aim your gun, and then click in the L3 button, Snake rolls, which is also in 5. So you can roll, like literally as a joke, I rolled across the entire base.
Wow.
But you can roll, and when you stop rolling after a certain amount of time, one of the badges will fall out from your utility belt.
Oh, and
So,
that's
like,
one of the ones that fell on.
Yeah, so the last XOF badge that most people get is the one that fell in between his belt
That's
when they were
awesome.
falling off the cliff. But I just wanted
Who
to call
the
that
fuck
out.
does that enough to make that happen? Alessio
Hi.
Summerfield. That's fucking.
Hi. But yeah, it's fun. I also love that while you're sprinting, if you press square, you can just fucking dive into a prone position, which is pretty cool. Overall, it feels really cool to control your guy in these games.
Yeah, so I called. I my favorite thing about this was that when Morpho showed up, and I was loading the prisoners up. Like based on where I sat Chico down, I kind of like curb stomped him each time I put a prisoner in there because of where I set him, and it was kind of funny.
That poor dude.
But yeah, when you take him to the LZ, Boss will ask Chico where Paz is, and then Chico hands Snake the headphones, and this is our favorite tape.
Oh, yeah, it's Smashing Pumpkins. Despite all my rage, I am still just a rat in a cage.
But Chico will tell Snake that Paz is dead, and when he's pressed further, he repeats himself and just hands Boss the tape before putting his headphones back in. Which is, what is he listening to now? Nothing.
No, I think it's the cassette where we hear where Paz is.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, no, he hands that
I
to
see.
you.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
The implication is that he was listening to that tape.
Which
And
is
then he puts
weird
his-
considering one of the tapes that you can find later is the tape of the torture itself.
Mm-hmm.
And it's real dark, you guys. I'm glad it's an optional tape, but it's a real gross optional tape.
Ugh.
But yeah, so you listen to. And the reason why I say favorite tape is we've been taking the piss out of this tape a couple times, just like outside of the podcast, of them just like, it sounds like a flag. Is that water?
Yeah.
What's
this
this?
was primarily in our Discord, like the one and only, I think, and Matt's What She Said and Reanimationed have all been kind of poking fun at this fucker.
So when you listen to it, Kyle's will be like, is that a flag? She's probably near a flag.
Is that water? Hold on, I hear my mother humming in the background. Are they near my house? Like,
Just like weird shit like that.
it is very weird.
So that'll explain something that we're gonna do a little bit.
Oh, this is
later.
pre Darkness Miller. He's still a little edgy, but he hasn't
Yeah.
lost his beautiful blonde hair.
Yeah, he hasn't lost his smile.
Yeah, he hasn't been destroyed as a human.
Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, you get this tape, and Chico and the boys are extracted. And
Crash and the boys.
Crash and the boys are extracted. That's very, very sad. But yeah, directly up the hill from the LZ, you immediately see a truck and an American flag, and Kaz goes, "That's probably the flag that you're looking for."
Yeah, in the Deja Vu and the Jamais Vu missions, this flag is replaced with a foxhound flag, which is awesome.
Oh, that's awesome. I do like that a lot. But yeah, there's a guard that's there by the truck that'll eventually drive it away. And then if you briefly follow the truck and cut left up a hill, Kaz will then mention, this might be the heliport where the helicopter and the tape was. So
yeah,
you're getting
well,
close.
fuck following the truck. Get in the truck and lay on your belly. It'll take you right where you gotta go.
See, I do things the hard way because I hate myself.
Oh, okay. Yeah, as long as you lay on your belly, you can ride that truck all the way to the inside of the base.
Yeah,
Which is amazing.
I found, which I discovered later, and I felt like
Oh no.
really stupid about. I was like, oh,
Oh,
fuck.
the camera can still spot you if you like stand up and you're like half crouched.
Oh, those cameras gave me some shit because I forgot that if you shoot them out, they will send people to investigate.
Right. Well, and Papa Alessio was using that as like his sleepy time zone. Mm-hmm. Like I would like shoot it with the silenced machine gun, pull out the sleep darts, and just like put 5 grown men to sleep.
Daddy says nap time.
Yeah.
But yeah, so now we got to get to the admin building. So what I did was I took out a bunch of bros at the heliport, and then there was a drainage ditch, so I went down to the drainage ditch, went to the other side of the ditch, and then found my way in, shot out a camera, and had a lot of fun fucking with Delta 6, who kept on coming in and out of the same place investigating shit that was happening.
Right.
And then yeah, went in there and found Paz.
Yeah. You have to do. I don't know how I feel about the unlocking stuff.
Oh, like
What do
where
you-
you press triangle and just like wait a second to.
Yeah, I mean it can be tense if you're sneaking because like you're like fuck, come on, which is cool, but like I feel like 99% of the time, like if I'm trying to get in somewhere, I'm usually like putting people to sleep or killing them or something. So it's like just kind of feels like a weird like weight tax for some reason.
Yeah.
So I don't
Loading
know.
maybe.
Yeah, Isaac, did you have trouble getting in here after you rescued our main man Chico?
Go. I did. Because
I want to hear.
Yeah,
all
how'd you?
about it.
There are a bunch of different ways to get in here, so I'm curious to hear how you
Yeah.
got in.
So because I took the truck early
Oh no.
and it blew up.
What? Why did it blow up?
Blew up the truck.
So I parked right in front of the prison, and I was like, "Oh, these guys won't see me." Sure enough, one of them sees me,
Oh no!
and he's like, "Huh? You're not one of us." And then he
You're
starts
not
shooting
Theo?
at the yeah. He starts shooting at the truck. Truck catches fire. I bail,
Wow.
and the truck explodes. And funny thing is, it doesn't respawn. I guess I don't know. I
Yeah, what
never
do you
saw
think
that
this is,
truck
Isaac?
again.
A video game?
So after I rescue Chico and the other prisoners, God bless them, I never found that truck again, and so I had to like trek my way all the way up
I had to do it the classic
the
way.
hard way. I kind of went up the west side and up. Most people, I think, go up like where the truck path is, where the road is.
Right. Underneath the bridge.
For whatever reason, I went west and then up.
Nice. Did you use the door by the anti-aircraft guns, or did you use the door by the big giant door? Because there's like that back door that you can go in
I think
where
I
you
use,
can turn the
probably use
power
the
off.
back door. Yeah.
I always
turned
use
the
the
power
back door.
off.
Oh yeah, I love that little thing. In Deja Vu, when you hit that button, Psycho Mantis like hacks your video game for a second,
That's cool. That's awesome.
which is super neat.
Yeah, so I turned the power panel off, and it turned off all the cameras. I was like, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, they will send dudes to fix it though, so you gotta hunker down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nice.
But
Yeah, so get into the admin building, and you find Paz, and her hair is buzzed, and she's tied up, but she's still alive and unconscious.
She looks real fucked up. I was real sad.
yeah.
I was like, girl, I don't like you, and you did us wrong, but I wouldn't wish this on anybody.
Mm-hmm.
And she's murmuring things like,
Yeah,
Oh,
she's
she's
just like-
murmuring some fucked up stuff.
yeah, it's
It's just stuff like "stay away" and "pain is an illusion," and she's
Yeah.
also muttering that she has her stomach has something.
Yeah,
And
she's
just,
like,
kind of
doesn't she say
trails
like
off.
it's inside me or something?
Yeah, like she
it's
says that,
it's
like,
fucking weird, man. Or she'll start laughing. Oh,
ugh,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's really fucked. But yeah, so this inside area here has some generators that are being patrolled by some bad guys.
yeah, it's a cool
and
spot. I like this little
It
area.
is a pretty cool spot. One of them is walking around right outside the room where Paz is, and then two start walking down from the other side of the room. And I found this out the hard way because I got spotted with Paz.
Oh shit.
So I reloaded my checkpoint because I do not give a shit.
Oh, that's what I wanted to mention too. I never mentioned that when I was talking about the three things that can fuck with your score. Restarting from checkpoint
Restarting.
can fuck your score up really bad.
Mm-hmm.
Which sucks. So
So
you have to like
it does
restart
suck,
the
but-
whole mission if you're trying to S rank.
So I did, but I don't give a shit. So I restarted from the checkpoint.
No, yeah. I wasn't. Yeah, I didn't mean to. I wasn't throwing shade. I was.
No,
just
no, no,
letting
no.
you-
I know. I'm just saying it's my personal mission was to not give a shit because that's just who I am. Thug life. Beep, 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 beep.
Oh my gosh.
So the second time I left Paz in the cell, took care of the boys. I popped one of them, hid behind the generator in the other room, snuck behind them, choked out one, and then did the other one. I didn't have too much trouble with it. And then I grabbed Paz and started walking out. And
Nice.
Kaz mentions that it would be totally cool to call a chopper in the middle of the heliport, and I was like, nah, dude. So I wound up it was kind of like an extra challenge, but it almost felt easier. I just waltzed. I didn't know if calling the helicopter in the middle of the heliport would be bad or not. So I waltzed all the way back to where the mission started on accident. That first tower that I took out to get in, I was by there, and I was like, oh, okay. So I turned around and I went down to where I extracted Chico and those other prisoners and got her. up
Oh,
there.
weird. Yeah, you can make the helicopter meet you where the level started.
Can you?
Yeah. Like so.
No,
the-
I did do that. Yeah, I did do that.
Okay, because I was gonna say the pro tip is like the moment you grab pause, go ahead and call the helicopter. That way, it will be showing up when you get there, and just fucking sprint from the base all the way straight shot to where the level started.
That's what I did. I
Yeah.
didn't sprint. I just kind of snuck around.
Oh, gotcha.
I
Yeah.
didn't have any trouble.
Well, especially if you've got fucking reflex mode on, like as long as you've got some bullets in your sleep dart gun, like fucking book it, and then if you get spotted, just like headshot them and keep running, and you should be good. But
I actually didn't. I got reflexed more times on the way to pause than I did. I didn't get reflex any times on the way out.
oh, that's crazy. Yeah, I know. Midway through you getting there too is like when the alarm goes off, and they're like, "She's gone," and everybody starts going ham.
Yeah.
But I will say one of the things I wanted to mention really quickly that was a huge thing that pissed me off every time I was trying to redo these levels. The silenced machine gun that you have, I'm pretty sure by default it has the flashlight turned on. Holy
Yeah.
shit, is that irritating?
Yeah, it is.
Because every single time I had to restart the mission, I forgot about it and would just like whip it out and somebody would be like, "What?" And I'm like, "God damn it." And like you just have to remember to press triangle in the weapon select mode when you're hovering over it to turn off the flashlight, which is frustrating.
Yep.
But yeah, that's pretty much the mission, man. I thought I pretty much did. I mean, I did this every way you can probably do it, but yeah, I did it that way most times.
Do you have
I
any
have
trouble
called the
getting her
helicopter
out of there,
down.
Isaac?
I have called the helicopter down in the middle, which is cool.
How
Does it
that-
like create a big ruckus?
Yeah, people freak the fuck out and start shooting, and then I don't know. I feel like sometimes Morpho will hang out until you get there, but if you haven't taken out the anti-aircraft guns, he'll usually kind of like wuss out and be like taking too much fire, and he'll pull out. But if you C4 the anti-aircraft stuff, I think usually he does show up. There is a fucking street sweeper, like one of those like little turret vehicles that will be posted up. If you go that way, there's just like a big fucking truck with a gun, like ready to kill you. So you also have to be mindful of that. But yeah, you can get it to where he'll come pick you up if you play your cards right.
Do you have any trouble, Isaac, getting her out of there?
In which part? At the end, getting
Paz out, yeah, extracting.
Oh, definitely. I mean, who? Because I obviously didn't want to extract her in the middle, because I was like, there's too many baddies. So,
good instincts.
Huh?
I like where your head's at, kid.
I said, like where your head at. Good instincts, kid.
Yeah. So, sneaking around with a girl on her back is not the easiest thing in the world.
Speak for yourself. No, I'm kidding.
So, yeah, it was a trip, but I got it worked out with enough time. Eventually, it was fun though. It was fun, like trying to like an actual sneaking type mission, as opposed to like guns a-blazing. Just because I feel like if I were to go guns a-blazing, it would make it 10 times harder, like trying to get her out.
You just gotta get them headshots.
That's right. Yeah.
Headshots make the world go round, or they stop it, depending on who you ask. But so we extract Paz, and we're on the helicopter. And on this helicopter, Chico notices that Paz has some weird scars in her stomach, and so Boss calls for the medic. Yeah, and they realize that she's rigged with a bomb in her stomach. So the medic, her
tum tum,
reaches into her fucking guts.
The scene,
and we see it.
Yeah, we see all of it,
golly,
and it's not
the agony.
Pleasant. It's Boss and Chico hold her down, and the medic eventually yanks the bomb out of her stomach and chucks it out of the helicopter.
It's got a little peace sign on it.
Yeah,
it's real fucked up.
Yeah, so Huey at this point calls Boss and lets him know that everything is good with stories are straight and the documents are destroyed, and that Zeke is hiding on the seafloor underneath the base. And that
can we camp out on that for a split second real quick? No one that's doing good stuff is having men destroy all of the documents.
Yeah, documents aren't destroyed. They're not hiding weapons on the seafloor.
Yeah, I feel like MSF is kind of doing some fucked up stuff. I think low key, we're not the good guys. I don't think.
No, God no.
Yeah.
Did they ever explain what happened to Zeke after this?
I don't think so. I think so. Cypher took it, I think.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Or at least that's the suspicion, because I think it wasn't there when they. I think in one of the tapes they talk about going back to the base and everything being gone.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Huey says something like their guests are going to praise them as the kings of world peace or some shit like that, and then Boss tells Huey to make him proud. And then it kind of like jumps time, and Morpho calls Mother Base to get clearance for landing, and can't get through. And as they get closer, they discover that there is a lot of fire in and around the vicinity of Mother Base.
Yeah, Boss just put one of his cigars out by accident in a trash can.
Yeah. But yeah, Morpho notices Kaz and some other folks are fighting some people on the base, so Boss begins to assist them from the chopper. My favorite part about this is that Boss is holding the gun barrel like a pool cue, I think in an attempt to stabilize it. And it's just kind of
burn your hand, brother.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, whatever. Boss doesn't care. Yeah, so he single-handedly takes out an enemy chopper, and then
he's Big Boss, motherfucker.
Yeah, Big Boss, motherfucker. And he jumps out of the chopper and begins his assault, and then an explosion happens and kind of clips Mother Base and clips Cos Snake and some soldiers, and they all move on to the helicopter as Mother Base starts to go down, and they start to fly away, and this again sets up the beautiful video game Metal Gear Survive.
Oh yeah, that's right. This is the divergent point between
Yeah,
5
this
and
is
Survive.
when the alternate timeline takes place. This is your
Jesus
character
Christ.
gets left on Mother Base and transported to the
Yeah.
world of Survive. And it's very
We
silly.
essentially re-see this entire cutscene in Survive
From a different perspective. Yeah.
from a dumber perspective.
Yeah. So this is where the famous line is, and Alessio, if you could cue that here. Kaz realizes.
I'll play you a little fiddle.
They played us like a damn fiddle!
Yeah, play me like a damn fiddle. He realized that the whole inspection was a smokescreen for this attack, and goes, "They played us like a damn fiddle," which is the best line.
He played
And
himself.
then calls the near comatose and very injured Paz a spying bitch, and demands she starts talking. And the mystery medic restrains Kaz. And then Paz starts freaking out and tells Snake that there is a bomb in her, and Snake is trying to reassure her, that tells her that they got it. But she gets up, opens the door to the chopper, and says there's another in her, and then it like jumps out of the chopper, and you can only assume where that other bomb is, which is just
it gets
miserable.
reiterated in 5, and
Yeah.
we see kind of, and it's like,
Yeah,
oh god.
It's very
Somebody put a bomb in that young girl's vagina, y'all.
yeah. So
Just gonna let that sit for a second.
That's kind of. That's kind of.
yeah, but
that's
she
not
jumps
nice.
out. She jumps out of the helicopter. The helicopter, she explodes. Then, the chopper crashes into another helicopter, and then it cuts to black. And then that's kind of where it ends. Some text on the screen reveals that the media blamed the money-minded private militias for the incident. Identified the U.S. as one of the organization's top clients that caused a big scandal, which caused the Secretary of Defense to disavow the whole thing and claim the U.S. had no hand in the incident. Reports would also suggest that the IAEA and the UN had no knowledge of a nuclear expansion on Mother Base, and other countries tied to Mother Base avoided comment. The text notes that there were no known survivors and unknown casualty count, but there were reports of unidentified military helicopters in the area. And then the credits start to roll. And then you get, as they start to roll, Skullface mentions Here's to You and claims it was somebody's favorite song. And then mentions that Nicola and Bart were immigrants, wrongly executed, and that their deaths are a message that our society is one that murders the innocent, and asks who he's talking to if they believe their sacrifice will change the world. And in the post-credits, Skullface says that Cypher has been in hiding since, quote, his grand experiment, and that he hasn't been seen in years. And all that they hear are orders delivered by proxy, except that you, quote, met with him to contact Big Boss and demands to know where Cypher, and calls him out as Zero, is. And then mentions that, so at this point, this is where we find out that, if we weren't clear already based on Peace Walker, that Cypher is Major Zero from 3.
Yeah, I think it's safe to assume he's talking to Paz as well, because
Paz
is the one
it
who
becomes, she responds, and it becomes very clear in a second that he's talking to Paz this whole time.
Right.
He mentions that he's never known choice or the freedom to choose for himself, but that she is free to do as she will. And then Paz responds and says that, and asks if telling him where Zero is would save Big Boss, and Skullface says it may. And then Paz asks if he'll really kill Zero for her, and then he says he won't do it for her, and Paz agrees to reveal where Zero is before the clip cuts, and then they play the trailer for Phantom Pain, and we are out like shout, and that's the main mission. Ground Zeroes.
Right. We should probably talk a little bit about what's in that trailer, though, because I don't think they showed it again in 5. Before that, though, I do want to make mention of a really, really fucked up thing that kind of, for a little bit, got Kojima in hot water for this game, which was the tape that I alluded to before. There's a hidden tape in the game. I cannot remember which exact one it is. That essentially is an audio recording of Skullface, like, sexually abusing Paz, like in real time.
And I think we briefly talked about this in the Peace Walker season too, right?
Yeah, it's either in the Peace Walker season or another. I feel like I definitely have a memory of me and you talking about it, Sam. But like, it's really uncomfortable. And like, don't get me wrong, like I love to be made to feel extreme emotions by media. I think it, like, if a film is not deeply generating some sort of emotion from me, I feel like it's worthless. Not worthless, but just like, I don't know, not something that is going to stand the test of time in my mind.
Read as every Marvel movie, according to Alessio.
And I think in this, like, there is shock, and there is like, oh fuck, they went there, like in this. And Kojima, I think before the game came out,
The
even
tape
said,
takes it a little too far, I think.
yeah, and Kojima even talks about how before the game came out that he was going to, quote, visit some taboos. But it's real painful to listen to, y'all. Mm-hmm. So I just want to put that out
Which,
there.
like to the point where I don't recommend listening to it.
Yeah, especially if you have had any trauma in your life relatively similar. Like it's pretty intense. It's raw.
Mm-hmm.
So, but anyway, yeah. Tell us about that trailer, Sam.
Yeah, it's just kind of like a trailer. They kind of like set up 5 essentially. They show the claw for hand and like some of the stuff from the hospital. They reused some stuff they used in the. What about him?
Well, I didn't say anything.
What?
I don't know what you're talking about.
What's going on? Alessia, are you talking about it?
No, I just said, what about him? That's Miller says it into the camera.
Oh, yes.
Very subtly. I was trying to very subtly say something, and then Sam was like, we're going to park a truck on it.
Kicking and screaming into the light. I didn't know what the fuck you were talking about. I forgot about it. It's been a while. So I played I've been playing 5 and Ground Zeroes for the show. I played Ground Zeroes maybe like 2 months ago. So it's not the freshest of daisies to me in my head right now. So
yeah, you started it way sooner than I think we did. Nice.
So, yeah.
Did you enjoy Ground Zeroes when it first came out, Sam?
Did I? Yes, I did.
Oh, okay.
I played through and had a lot of difficulty with the main mission. And then I don't think I did a lot of the side ups, if any. So I had a very bare minimum experience. I did a lot more with it this time through.
Gotcha. I can't remember where the trailer thing ends, but I know we are starting to get short on time, so I don't know if we want to get Isaac's thoughts on overall GZ and then move on to the side stuff.
Yeah. Do you remember what rank you came out of it with, Isaac? I came out of it with an A, which I thought was pretty good based on
the worst possible rank. So I took this one real slow for whatever reason, and I did it over the course of a couple days.
Whoa! You can't even. Is there saving in the middle of the mission?
But there's sleep mode.
You can just exit out of the game, and then when you start it, it just puts you into the last checkpoint.
Oh, I see.
But like I had to like break it up because I have stuff to do.
For sure. That's crazy. Like how long did you play it each time?
I can't remember. Some of it was like, a lot of it was when I would get spotted.
Oh, okay.
You would have to wait a long time for them to go back to normal. And I feel like that was a lot of it. Was like I would get spotted, and then I would just sit there in hiding.
Gotcha.
And it kind of sucked, but yeah, I think I got a D.
Oh, that's not bad. I think you can get an E.
Oh, for real?
Which is
dang.
the worst.
Right.
Yeah.
But
yikes.
Good job, Isaac. Dude, so I think at my peak, I was able to get this main op knocked out in like 7 minutes.
Dang.
Wow. So I'm looking at the screenshot of my time, and it says 69 minutes, 52 seconds. But that doesn't seem right to me.
Yeah, it seems really high.
Yeah. So I think I maybe like paused it and just left it on accident, and then it just ticked up time.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, cool. Sam, do you think we should go super hard into all these side ops, or should we just talk about the premise and then mention anything notable?
Yeah, we'll talk about the premise a little bit. We're running.
I think the big ones are I think the big ones that we should definitely camp out on a little bit is Deja Vu and Jamais Vu for one very specific reason that I think I told you about or alluded to, but I don't know if I ever told you what I meant.
And then I think we also should talk about Intel operative extraction, because we brought that up a little bit earlier. I did want to mention, I made a joke in my notes as we discussed that I do that sometimes. That one of the missions called Eliminate the Renegade Threat, where you have to eliminate 2 soldiers who are a sniper-spotter duo named Glaz, the eye, and Pellets, the finger. And I was looking at some of the mission data, and the eye is a black man that is probably somehow the man Sigint was based off of. And then I wrote down, Les Sigint, tell him. I tickled myself with that one.
That's awesome.
But yeah, so there's a couple of side ups. There's that one, Eliminate the Renegade Threat, where you have to take out those 2 the sniper spotter duo.
You can extract them or kill them.
Yes, you can extract them, and Kaz gets a little weird about it, but you can extract them.
Pissed off.
And they'll show up later on Mother Base in 5 if you do. You have Intel operative extraction, which we will camp out on in a second. You have classified Intel acquisition, where you have to find some hot goss.
It's just a tape, right? You have
to find a Intel agent that's disguised as one of the soldiers, and he tells you where to find a tape.
There's 2 ways to finish this, which is weird. So you can either get the tape from a random guard who's downstairs, or if you run up to the tower, there's a camera, which sucks that you got to deal with. But if you run up to the tower, you can just grab that tape, which is a completely different tape for some reason, and it'll work.
Tapes.
Yeah,
it'll work, but Kaz will mention at the end of the mission that he wonders if there should have been a tape that has a detail of the entire plan, and Kaz wonders if they missed a tape. And
right.
And there's a side up. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say to S rank it, you just need 1 though, so you can literally get 1, get in a car, and get the fuck out of there. It's pretty quick.
And then there's a side up to destroy a number of anti-air emplacements. But
nice.
But I want to talk about Intel, and then there's 2 extra ops called Deja Vu and Jamais Vu, which are we discussed earlier during the generalities, were the 2 exclusive missions for the various consoles that are now together as one package in the definitive experience. But yeah. So Intel operative extraction is the second side op you can access. And Kaz notes that they got an extraction request from a member of the Intel team working at the camp undercover, and that there's no time to be quiet, and that they have
Isaac,
to go
I'm so
in loud.
pissed. I'm not pissed, but I'm so disappointed that you didn't see this one, because this one is fucking
So
batshit
fucking
crazy.
good. Yeah. There's no time to be quiet. We got to go in loud, and then Snake will pull out a pair of glasses and look at them, and the brand is like JF whatever.
JF Ray.
JF Ray glasses displayed.
They tweeted a picture today of a pair of their glasses next to a Metal Gear Ray, and they said JF Ray MG Ray. And I was like, God damn it.
So he said there's no time to be quiet. I thought I was going to get an option to go in silent, but no. You just fucking go in the helicopter and just mow shit down. Oh my God. And it was amazing. Isaac, you would have loved this mission because you don't have to be stealthy. You could just kill shit.
Oh, yeah. Unlimited ammo, too.
Yeah. So you just mow down fucking people in a chopper, and it's very badass. But yeah, so what happens, you track this Intel person who has stolen a Jeep, and once you find him, you have to defend his honor with bullets and grenades so he doesn't get blown up. And you kind of follow him around the camp as he's driving this Jeep trying to explain, as he's shooting bad guys, and you follow him around the camp, and once he gets to a part of the heliport and he gets knocked out at one point, so then you have to clear the area around him, jump off the helicopter and rescue him. And then as you're trying to rescue him, an artillery tank rolls up and you have to destroy it before you can leave.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, dude, they go hard.
That is wild.
You can get a missile launcher out of one of the ammo houses, though.
So can I tell you how I did this one, though?
Oh, no.
You can get the AA gun, too. Did you use
No,
the
I didn't do
AA
either
gun?
one of those. All right, so listen to what I did. So I had to restart because I hid Hideo behind the... It's Hideo Kojima, Isaac.
Yeah, so there's a
Spoilers.
reveal at the end that the guy
Yeah.
you're rescuing is Kojima.
Yeah.
And he says in, like, the weirdest English, he's like... What does he say? He's like...
What took you so long?
Yeah, what took you so long? But he says it in such, like, a weird tone that's very funny to me.
Yeah. But yeah, so I wound up hiding him behind the building he got knocked out at, but I didn't hide him good enough, so he got hit by an explosion and died. I think that might have been my fault. So I tried it again, hit him better, and then I realized there was a ladder on the side of the building, so I climbed up to the top of the building, and the vent that's on the top of it is good cover from the bullets from the tank. And then I discovered that being on the roof will kite the tank next to the building, and if you stand anywhere but the edge, it can't hit you. So I just unloaded my grenade launcher a bit, and then when I ran out of grenade launcher ammo, I just chucked grenades at it, and it blew up.
Nice.
And then once you get Hideo on the chopper, you have to fight another helicopter for the vice presidency, and took him out a little bit. And then, of course, once you get out of there, a cutscene happens. Snake looks at the target, and it is revealed to be Hideo Kojima.
You give him his glasses.
He gives him his glasses. He puts them on, and then says, "What took you so long?" And I'd like you to cue that here too, Alessio, because the accent is great.
What took you so long?
Yeah. The funny thing too is on the main menu, instead of the medic being there for the mission select, Hideo will be there. After
Hideo just stands there, just like smiling at you. It's fucking great.
That's
It's super
hilarious.
I think I got a B on it. I think I might have gotten an A if Hideo didn't accidentally blow up. But whatever.
Hell yeah.
And then and he's the person that you get at Mother Base like immediately when you start 5. So
Yeah. And then you get a mission to rescue him in 5 as well.
yeah. So if you didn't play Ground Zeroes, you have the mission to rescue him. My favorite part about it.
Oh,
is
it's
that
only if you didn't play Ground Zeroes?
Well, no. That's the thing. So you get a mission in 5, a side up in 5 to rescue him, assuming that you didn't play Ground Zeroes, I think is what they put it in there for.
Oh, I see.
But if you rescued him in Ground Zeroes and transferred him over, you still get the mission. So it's like Hideo
So you get
going
2?
on, it's like,
So you get
you
two
get 2.
Kojimas? Yeah.
No, I checked it out. You only get 1.
Oh, fuck.
There's only
I was gonna
one
say, I want
Kojima.
twin Kojimas.
Yeah, he's in the same place in the same spot, tied up the same way that Kaz was at the beginning of 5.
Light
it's
spoilers.
It's very strange. Light spoilers, but we'll get there next week.
Sam,
yeah.
did you play Deja Vu and Jamais Vu? Do you want me to talk about them?
Talk about them because I don't think I unlocked them, so I would like you to because
okay.
I don't know what Jamais Vu is. I don't think.
Okay, so Deja Vu is you play as, and I'm not quite sure where people are getting these like skins or if they're mods or what's going on, but I've seen images of people like playing Deja Vu as like OG PS1 Snake. But Deja Vu, what it is you get dropped on the island, you have no weapons, and the whole thing is to recreate scenes from the past with photographs. Or not photographs, but like just to recreate scenes from the past. So like there's not a lot of guards, and it's really just like goofy nostalgic Easter eggs. So one of them is like you'll hide behind a cargo container and you'll see the camera, and Kiefer Sutherland will be like, a camera? And it'll just show you the MGS1 thing. And that's why it was restricted to like the PS version, because it's just using a bunch of Shadow Moses stuff. What's cool as fuck is like even Miller, when he's talking to you when you first start the mission, he's like, the Fox Archipelago off the Alaskan island or something. And if you look carefully, instead of rain, there's like little tiny snow particles blowing in the wind.
Oh, that's awesome.
And even some of the music is like in the same vein as like MGS1. It's real cool. And so it's like some of the other ones too is like there's a Hind D on the helipad, and if you get close to it, it'll be like a Hind D. You can run between 2 spotlights and pick up an item, and it'll count as like a memory. You can hit the button to make Psycho Mantis appear, which I told you guys about. There's an Easter island head in the basement that you can destroy or take a picture of. I believe some of the other ones are there's a tank that's just idling, and you can throw a grenade into the top, and a dude will fall out, just like in MGS1. There's a couple other ones, I think, but the last one that typically people get is if you go through this vent, there's mice, and Miller will be like, Alaskan field mice, and then he'll cough, and he'll be like, wait a minute, never mind. But there's just a bunch of goofy stuff like that, and at the very end, which is actually kind of cool, and I don't know, I think you have to get all the memories in order for it to trigger. I'm not quite sure. S ranking it, you only have to do like 3, and you just have to do it really quickly, so I never got it. But I did get it the first time I played it on my PS3 way back when. There's a trivia quiz. Like Miller quizzes you on Metal Gear facts. and you have to get the answers right to like pass the mission, I think.
That's cool.
Which is cool. Jamais Vu is very similar, except you play as Raiden from Rising.
Oh.
And you get dropped off, and when you sprint, he sprints like he does in Rising, and you're just like armed to the teeth, like right off the bat. And you have to scan every guard on the island. There's not a lot, but you have to scan every guard because there are snatchers hidden among the guards.
Oh.
And so Miller talks about how the snatchers crash landed on the island the night before and then took the bodies of some of the Marines, and like now they like walk among them. And so you have to target, you have to not kill the humans, but you have to kill the snatchers. And then at the end, as you're getting picked up by the helicopter, you get attacked by like an army of snatchers, and you have to like fend them off and shoot a bunch of helicopters down and stuff. It's pretty sick. Yeah, it's pretty cool. But the big thing that I wanted to talk about, because I think it's a huge deal, and I believe you can find it in either Deja Vu or Jamais Vu, but I found it in Jamais Vu this time. If you go into one of the ammo houses that you can go into, there's a silenced machine gun that's sitting there, but it has a weird colored flashlight. And if you pick it up, you'll notice that on top of that, you'll notice that there's some weirdly colored spotlights. If you aim the spotlights at these weird black ovals on the side of some of the buildings, you'll create the Fox logo for Kojima Productions.
Oh.
But with this gun, and it has the same color light as those, it actually erases shit. And so you'll see logos for every game in the franchise. I'm talking like Acid, Ghost Babel, MGS1, MGS2. Whoa. If you shine the light on the games that Kojima directed, the logos get erased.
Oh.
And Miller says,
is it like the same thing that Skullface uses at the beginning of the main?
Yeah. And the crazy shit is Miller will say stuff like, and I'm just paraphrasing, I don't have the exact quotes, but he'll say stuff like, they'll forget me when I'm gone. Or Miller will say like, they just don't know what they're missing, or just stuff like that. But then if you shine the light on games that Kojima did not direct, Miller will be like, Ghost Babel, who even cares about that, or something, and it won't erase the logo. And so like,
it certainly sounds like something that a man unconcerned with his legacy would do.
Right. It certainly sounds like a thing that a man who thinks he's going to get fired will probably put into this game. Mm-hmm. And so I kind of feel like he knew it was coming way before we did.
Yeah.
It's real weird. But yeah, you should definitely try it just to get the experience of like the weird dialogue. But yeah, so I don't know. I did all of them a bunch of different ways, and they're fun. Most of them, if you do them efficiently, I don't think any of these missions really take all that long. I think the one that takes the longest, unfortunately, is I think it's the one where you destroy the anti-aircraft guns, because then it's either that one or, hold on, let me remember.
I definitely took the most time with the finger and eye mission.
Yeah, I think it's the anti-aircraft gun one, and I might be wrong. If you destroy 3 of the guns, they will send a tank in, and then you have to destroy the tank. And it's like the fact that they send the tank in and you have to wait for it. The pro tip is to just put a bunch of C4 down and wait for it to run over them and then blow it up, because it doesn't know where you are at first.
So
but it just takes way long.
When I did that, I did the anti-aircraft guns, and then I got killed by the tank. And then when I respawned, I didn't have to kill the tank. Like, I was just able to
that's
complete the
weird.
mission. Yeah. So I don't know if it
weird.
glitched or if it was just like, you're stupid and bad at this, so here you go.
Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much it, I think. I do want to talk about the trial stuff real quick, which is kind of weird. So like at first, when you first start playing the game, when you mark people, you'll notice that it'll say you marked such and such number out of such and such. If you mark everybody, you will unlock additional trials. If you play the game on hard mode, you will also unlock additional trials. And some of these are like, unlock every door on the map. Like rescue all the prisoners. Destroy all the Easter Island heads. Just stuff like that. So there are kind of like these fun, it's like they took the notion of like, if you played the shit out of the Pizza Hut demo and you started like making up your own games, they kind of took that page out of that book and kind of helped by kind of baking in some like fun little side shit. But yeah,
I'm
I
gonna
don't
be
know.
honest with you. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you. That stuff like that is like a nightmare to me.
Yeah, I don't know. I think some of it was kind of fun. The guard one for the most of the side ops only have like 20 guards tops. The main op has a way too many fucking guards. So like that one kind of sucks, but the other ones are pretty easy to do.
I can see some of that being fun, but like, man, trials like that are never,
For sure.
never been my strong suit or cup of tea.
Yeah. But yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
As you get S ranks, one of the things I just want to mention is like, if you get A rank, B rank, C rank, D rank, E rank, S rank, you unlock different shit. And so, like, if you get S rank, I'm pretty sure most of the time they give you, like, that crazy recoilless scoped rifle with, like, unlimited ammo or some shit. Like, at the starting point of, like, every mission. So you start to unlock just, like, crazy weapons at your starting point as you get the ranks. So, but yeah. There's that.
Well, holy shit, guys, we're doing it. We did it. We did the generalities. We talked about ground zeros, and next week we're gonna get into 5.
Yeah, straight in, baby. Stories.
Straight in. Slide it in.
Oh, God.
Just the tip? No, all of it to the base.
Ew.
To the mother base. Yeah. So that's it for our coverage of ground zeros. Thank you guys for joining us, and I guess the task is up to me to talk to you guys about promotional stuff. We talked about it, we've alluded to it. You can, if you care to donate money to the cause, you can go to patreon.com/Metal Gear Mondays and join us there. We have several different tiers. The $1 will get you access to, like we said, our Discord server, where we have a lot of people in there that are hanging out and talking and chatting and having a good time, and it's very fun.
Our Discord hotline, there are lovely singles waiting for you.
I don't
No,
want to.
I'm kidding.
Icky. And then you will also get a code for 15% off the Metal Gear Mondays merch store, which you can get by going to bit.ly/MGM store. $2 or more per month will get you that, plus a special patron-only podcast we call the Patriot Club, where we just kind of talk about random stuff that's not related to Metal Gear, games and topics and weird, crazy stuff, and it's a fun show to do, and I enjoy doing it. And yeah, that's kind of like a pretty popular tier. So check out patreon.com/Metal Gear Mondays and check out all the tiers we have on offer. See what seems right to you. If you do not have the money, or you don't care to donate money, that's totally fine.
If you don't believe in money as a
if
system.
you don't believe in money, if you think the government's trying to steal your money and you only keep cash under your mattress, that's fine too. You don't trust the banks, that's fine. What am I doing? Why am I doing this?
I don't know. Who are you describing? Who hurt you, Sam?
Nobody in particular, just in general. It's a trope of certain people, and people that don't trust the banks and keep their money in their mattress. That's the thing that people do. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, you can if you care to, go on iTunes and review us, rate us, subscribe us, subscribe and review on other various platforms that allow that. Go on Twitter, follow us at Metal Gear Monday, tweet at us, use the Metal Gear Mondays hashtag, all kinds of stuff. Go to facebook.com/Metal Gear Mondays and like that page. We post some new stuff there and all kinds of cool stuff. Instagram at Metal Gear Mondays, where we post clips from the show and just funny memes and stuff. You can check that out. What other things? MetalGearMondays.com is like a hub for all of this stuff. So if you forget any of those, just always remember MetalGearMondays.com, and you'll get to everything.
Let it be your guiding light home.
Let it be your guiding light, your North Star in the darkness. Alessio, where can people find you on the internet?
People can find me
Is it weird that I asked you that?
No, I think it's fine. One of the things I want to make mention of is if you're listening to this on the main feed, it is far too late for you to submit your video for the Patreon $5 plus tier auditions for the special trivia episode 100.
Yep. It's too
I
late.
should
Should've thought about
have.
that.
If you're listening to this on the Patreon feed, like hurry up, my dude.
Yeah.
If you're listening to on the general feed, what are you doing, my dude? But yeah, you can find me at AC Summerfield on Twitter, acsummerfield.com. Real quick, I don't know if we ever got this out of our boy. Isaac, did you have a good time with this game? You still there? Isaac.
I think he feel asleep.
Oh, shit. We got to keep this in. We made somebody fall asleep on the podcast.
You might be having technical difficulties. Hi, I'm Isaac. I had a great time with this game.
And I approve this message.
And
All
I
right,
approve
cool.
this message. Did you say where they could find you? Did I miss that?
Yeah, it's acsummerfield.com, at
Okay.
acsummerfield on Twitter.
Gotcha. Isaac, where can they find you on the internet? You can find me online doing the thing. Doesn't have a twit.com.
Nice.
Twitter.com.
Sam, one of the things that we talked about that I don't know if we've actually done yet. So if this is airing on the main feed, I think April 22nd. Good goddamn.
Really? Holy shit.
Yeah, so if it's airing April 22nd, hold on. April 22nd is when it will be airing on the main feed. I think we should holy shit, that might make it to where like we can't even do this. No, we can do this. So wow, actually I don't think this will work for non-Patreon people.
Oh my God. Really quick, can I tell them where to find me on the internet before you get into that?
No, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Sanjul. That's Sanjuul. And I don't have to pimp the Instagram because I did it already.
Yay.
Yay.
Yeah, so if you want to get on some sweet multiplayer action, chances are you will not be able to do that unless you're a patron, which is bananas. But we might just
we can announce it like on Twitter and the Facebook page and stuff.
Yeah, we'll do like a victory lap too, maybe. Maybe we'll do a second one. Yeah, just keep your eyes on social media. We'll probably do a couple of rounds of these because I think I'm probably gonna fuck with Metal Gear Solid 5 even after the season's done. But yeah, keep your eyes peeled. We'll announce dates of when we're doing PlayStation Online multiplayer. So if you have a PS4, join us.
And then, like we mentioned up top, we're also going to be announcing where you can hang out with us in Seattle on Memorial Day weekend if you care to do that. It's going to be Saturday, May 25th. We're going to be hanging out, so come check that out. Come check us out, and don't bring a knife.
We got to make shirts that just say "Don't bring a knife."
Is that our new outro? Don't bring a knife.
Yep, and don't bring a knife. Well, cool.
That's it. I think. Alessio, what do you want to sing us out?
Well,
as we
yeah.
worry about Isaac.
I'm worried about Isaac. I'm worried about who's gonna stop the recording on his side. But outside of that, you want to know a fun fact? This game is missing us. This game is missing a specific item. Sam, can you guess what item that this game is missing?
Fulton's Fulton device.
Yeah, it's missing Fulton's. It's also missing Dorsey.
It's missing Dorsey. It's missing DD. It's missing Quiet. It's missing D-Walker.
Smoke grenades probably aren't in here.
Probably not. It's missing Pequod for sure. Thankfully.
Yeah. Thank God. Thank God, no Pequod.
What else is it?
I mean, I was hoping it was only going to be missing one thing, but now it's dawned on me that it's missing quite a lot. Honestly, I was hoping that it. I don't know. I think the one thing that I was thinking was that it's missing just a box.
Oh, it's just a box, huh? Yeah.
Just a box.